conversation, homie, tap in. Why you hate? You already know we locked in, the world's greatest. Broadcasting live and they love it, but don't judge us. Off the block, giving it back. Big conversation, homie, tap in. Why you hating? You already know we locked in, the world's greatest. Broadcasting live and they love it, but don't judge us. Damn. Got it off the block, forming a dynasty from a rock. Laid back in the cut, press play, can't get enough. Yo, let's chop it up in every location. A bit of conversation, opportunity keep knocking like child support payments. Started from the bottom like basements, now we famous. Podcast officials, the topic will probably hit you from a distance like a pistol. Subscribe so you can listen to survival of the fittest. We talking it how we living it. Rolling like a dealership, managing several businesses. T-shirts, podcast, no, you don't need a membership. Just follow us on YouTube, Knowledge Supreme Infinite. Chicago got us dipping, excited, let's talk about it. Going live, check your notifications so you can holler. Or leave it in the comments, debate it, just being honest. Chicago topics, worldwide views, we supersonic. Big gang is conquer, circle back round like every week. Tell a friend off the block, it's where we meet. Bitter conversation, homie, tap in. Why you hating? You already know we locked in, the world's greatest. Broadcasting live and they love it, but don't judge us. Got it off the block, giving it back to hood lovers. Bitter conversation, homie, tap in. Why you hating? You already know we locked in, the world's greatest. Broadcasting live and they love it, but don't judge us. Got it off the block, giving it back. Come on. The hood lovers, off the block, giving it back. The hood lovers, broadcasting live. Off the block, giving it back. Big conversation off the block, giving it back. Big conversation off the block, giving it back. Big conversation off the block, giving it back.
Yo. Welcome to another episode of Bit of Conversation, man. We in the building today is Manday. What's going on, my good ones? My beautiful people, my Beardonians, my superheroes. What's happening? Y'all know how I like to start off every show, man. You know what I'm saying? You know the mantra, you know the good vibes and the positive energy, man. We got to keep, no matter how the show go, you know. But as of late, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Everything's been, you know what I'm saying, on up and up. So respects to, you know what I'm saying, the chat, respects to all the guests and, you know what I'm saying, the people that hit the panel and stuff like that. Man, well, let's get this show started, man. Y'all know what I like to say. Let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. Once again, let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. And lastly, family, let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. That's people we come in contact with on a daily basis. People we're cordial with, our families, our extended families, and more especially, our Bit of Conversation family. You feel me? Man, a lot of things happening out here in the world today, man. A lot of things be going on. So, you know what I'm saying, man, you know, we just appreciate if everybody just, you know what I'm saying, keep everybody, you know what I'm saying, together, man. Keep positive energy and positive thoughts in your head about each other, you know what I'm saying? And resonate that good energy, you know what I'm saying, to bring all that good spirit into the world and shit, you feel? Secondly, don't forget to master these 5 key components. Don't forget to master these 5 key components of life. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. And one last time, family, that's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And don't forget the most important part, man, that glue that holds everything together. That's that support. So don't forget to E40 that thing, man, and sprinkle a little support on top, because a little support go a long way. You feel me? Hey, man, and if you don't believe me, try it. You know what I'm saying? See if it work out for you. If it don't work out, come on back. We can talk about it. You feel me? And see what happened where you went wrong. Yeah, man, before we get into anything, you know, what's going on, Miss Afia, for you? Salika Wasalam, my beautiful goddess. How you doing? You feel me? Two Wheels, what's going on? Two Wheels, my little bro in the building, man. Make sure y'all go hit up my little bro channel, man. You know, he really don't say much, man. He ain't the talkative guy. You feel me? But listen, you know, when he go live, man, let's go over there. Let's show him support, man. You feel me? Let's be in the building with him, and you know what I'm saying? Let's help build up my little bro confidence. You know what I'm saying? I know we know this live thing ain't for everybody. You feel me? But you know, sometimes you be having something to say and you just don't know how to say it. So you feel me, man? Listen, you know, I'm in your corner. I'm supporting you, brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gonna do. So yeah, man. Hey, make sure y'all go over there to Two Wheels, man, and sub up to my little bro channel, man. And when he go live, let's support him, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a little patience. You feel me? Let's help him grow, you know? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. You feel me? Hey, man, before I get to playing any content and we get to talking about anything too major, you feel me, that might upset some people, hit that like button for your boy. Oh, also, don't forget, man, make sure y'all tap in to one of the memberships, man. We got a 3-tier option, man, from the bronze beard to the black beard. So make sure y'all check those out as well. Let's get to it, man. So the thoughts, views, and opinions of Bearded Conversations are the thoughts, views, and opinions of me right now. The thoughts, views, and opinions of Bearded Conversations are the thoughts, views, and opinions of me right now. I don't mean to hurt, to harm, or to offend. Once again, I don't mean to hurt, to harm, or to offend. This video stream is for informational, educational, and edutainment purposes only. Once again, this video stream is for informational, educational, and edutainment purposes only. You feel me? With the underlying and undertone on edutainment, so we do emphasize and stress that this is all edutainment. You feel me? Please do not take anything given, any advice given, or anything said, or anything shown on this video stream for face value without consulting a proper professional that suits your specific needs. Please do your due diligence. Please do your proper vet work and research. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, don't forget to get that second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth opinion. You feel me? Hey, it might be overkill, but look, get it all. You know what I'm saying? Get everything you need. You know what I'm talking about? That's part of the vetting process. That's part of your due diligence. That's part of your research. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? But look, because we don't want you going out here robbing no banks, starting no revolts, telling your boss what he or she can take, how they can turn it sideways, and where to put it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I know it'd be a lot, and there's a lot going on. You know, that's why I asked the question, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing, world? You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? It's mainly Manday, and it's not just predicated or dedicated to the men, women as well. You feel me? Want to hit that panel, or if you just want to say how you feel in the chat, feel free to express yourself. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what are we doing today in the world, man? It's just a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? A friend of mine sent me an article about bodies being found in funeral homes here in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Now the residents and people in certain communities are in an uproar. Like, that's insane. Why are you holding these bodies? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is just crazy, bro. Like, you holding dead bodies and like, then people paying you this money, and you know people go through this grieving process, and you know people get messed up mentally. You know what I'm saying, about the loss of loved ones. Some people stop working, some people stop eating, some people go into a great depression. And I'm not saying that you know, and again, you know, me personally, of course, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and say suck it up, get over it, should it be all right, you feel. But you know, even though that's the end goal, or that's what we're trying to reach, you know what I'm saying, as far as to getting over a process. But there's still a process. There's still steps and things that, you know, an individual and people go through before we can get to that. So just saying that can be upsetting and alarming, you know what I'm saying, to the individual that's hurting. So yeah, I get it. You feel me? So and again, you gotta have empathy. And it's all, and again, like I always preach and try to practice, effective communication. If the communication ain't effective, it's not going to work. That's not effective communication, telling a motherfucker that they're going to be all right when they hurting. You feel me? I ain't saying you got to sit there and go through the hurt with them, but you know, but yeah, man, but that's crazy, man. You holding bodies in funeral homes instead of burying them and put them in a proper place, and you got people giving you money. Man, this world is insane. But let me pause there real quick, man. We got my little bro on the panel, Two Wheels. What's going on, man? We got Two Wheels, aka Hot Wheels, aka Put Your Girl on My Lap, aka he told 318 that you gonna be the first motherfucker to make me stand up, put my hands on you. Hey, hey, little silence, my boy Two Wheels in the building. How you feeling, Two Wheels?
What's up,
Shit, chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Apologize to the audience too, man. You know, my wrestling come on. You feel me? You know, talking about, man, and then you know,
I
I
forgot.
got the,
I forgot
you know,
wrestling came on, man.
yeah, that's the only reason why I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? You know, why I wasn't on point today at 9. I had to, you know, talking about, you know what I'm saying? Hey, big shout out to Jay Uso, man. You feel me? Hey, he beat Solo, so Solo might be coming back home to the bloodline. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? Hey, fuck that, man. Big shout out to my co-hosts, L Boogie, Roscoe P, and my little one, AJ. My co-host is with the Moses. Hey, man, AJ birthday was yesterday. You feel me? He turned 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? My twins' birthday was today. They turned 20. You feel me? My little brother's birthday was today. Leo gang in the building. RP. AL, RP, Jeremiah, Jared, my little bro. Shout out to my twins, Jeremiah, Joshua, the big 2-0. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And hey man, my little one AJ yesterday, y'all. We singing happy birthday. Y'all might play the clip. We singing happy birthday. Well, I'm gonna post it then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Matter of fact, tomorrow we ain't gonna even do time. We gonna do something else Tuesday because I'm gonna post the fam up in the background tomorrow and shit. You feel me? But hey man, look, we get the happy birthday, right? We get to saying how old are you? You know, man. After the first how old are you? The man blew the candle out, stood up. We get to laugh and I say, fuck it, babe. The good Lord bless. About time we finished that, the man had took off. Well, now he ain't run, but the man had pimped off. Bro, went and jumped in his bed, went to sleep. I say, God damn. And then, bro, I'm talking about, didn't get no cake, didn't care about no gift. Bro, like, I mean, most of the gifts he had already got and shit. Then I bought some shoes, couple pair of shoes, shit like that. I mean, we had a little Spider-Man cake, had him dressed up as Spider-Man, you feel me? On the picture of the cake and the little figurines and shit. Man, that man blew that candle out, bro, pimped off, bro. And before that, though, we took him to PGN Fun. Man, he was asleep on the way there. He woke up, he enjoyed it a little bit. Nah, he wasn't tired, man. He was asleep when, man, he just went, sometimes you don't feel it, you feel me? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so shit, you gotta respect that 6 or not, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you just don't feel it. So yeah, you feel me? He wasn't with it. Yeah, man, celebrated his 6th birthday. It was fun. All his brothers and sisters, minus one, you know what I'm saying, was there. So it was enjoyable, man. And we had fun, man. You feel me?
Man.
Have fun, man. So that's what's up. That's what's up, man. You feel me? And I'm getting younger, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting and I'm getting younger. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Noble? How you feel? How you feel? How you feel, my boy? What's going on, Jarvis, brother Solomon, brother Solomon? Hey man, but yeah, like I say, man, I'm getting younger, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to see, you know what I'm saying, my boys, you know what I'm saying, reached the age of 20 and my youngest son reached the age of 6, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Now I got 3 more birthdays in November. And then that'll be it for the year, you feel me? As far as my kiddos. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Because the other was already was in January and February. You know what I'm saying? So their birthdays and then yeah, you feel me?
I got
Yeah.
my sister's birthday this month too.
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on. What day though?
15.
Okay, hashtag Leo gang in the motherfucking building. Hey man, you shout out to your sis, man. You know what I'm saying? I like already and shit. I like already and shit, man. I like already and shit. You feel me? But yeah, man, happy birthday to my twins, man. Happy birthday to my little brother, man. Happy birthday to all of Leo's Leo gang in the building. You feel me? My birthday later on, a couple weeks, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Sir. But yeah, man. But like I was saying, man, with this funeral home shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bodies found. Man, this shit was just crazy, man. I'm gonna read a little bit of the article, just a little bit, because I don't want to.
At a funeral home though, man.
Yeah, man. Crazy, bro. Because I got something else I want to talk about, man. You feel me? That happened in the city today, which is insane, man. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. Crazy. Yeah, so bodies found decomposing in Chicago funeral homes leave families shocked and distraught. So discovery of more than 50 bodies in various states in various states of decomposition inside a far south side Chicago funeral home has left family members who who use their services shocked, distraught, and looking for their loved ones. This shit is crazy. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office told CBS News Chicago it had been notified by city officials Thursday about bodies improperly stored at Chicago at South Chicago's Chapel, located at 95th Street and Exchange Avenue. I was shit. I don't even damn, and I stayed, bro. That ain't far from me at all. But shit, I didn't even know it was a funeral home right there. That's crazy.
These niggas don't care, man. These
It said record
niggas
show.
don't.
People don't care. This shit crazy. Say records show that the funeral home director Johanna Morgan had been allowing multiple descendants to be kept in an unrefrigerated area in deplorable conditions, including rodent infestation causing decomposition and maggots infestation of the bodies. Her license has been suspended with the state finding the facility's continued practice is a danger to public safety, interest, and welfare. What the fuck, man? What do you suspend? Lock this bitch? I mean, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. What's going on, Tribal Judah? I apologize, chat. No, I'm sorry. No. I do. Man, what do you mean y'all suspending her license, bro? Listen, let me tell y'all something, man. First of all, if you are going to get, listen, if you gonna do what you gonna do, right? And let's just say you are scamming the people, but you ain't scamming the people, and you know you don't have enough room or enough, you know what I'm saying, spots to hold these dead bodies. At least keep the proper refrigeration so you can at least freeze these motherfuckers. So if somebody come and get them, you can hood, you feel me, real quick, thaw their ass out, do whatever you need to do, dress them up and da da da. Because if you don't, man, and they not refrigerated, bro, and they just out in the heat, like you see, they say maggots and shit, bro. That shit bring rats and all type of shit, bro. Like that's nasty, my boy. Like, and then the smell, and then the people that work there, and you gotta go move this shit, move these bodies, bro. That's insane, bro. And you talking about you suspending her license, man? If y'all don't lock this motherfucker up, bro, this is the shit I'm talking about, bro. Look at and this is and look, don't get me wrong. People might not see this as a great injustice, bro, but this is a fucking moral injustice nonetheless, bro. Lock her up. Police and officials from the medical examiner's office worked through the night removing bodies from the funeral home to begin the painstaking process of identifying all of them, contacting the families. The medical examiner expects the identification process to take several days. That's if they can fucking identify these. Well, I'm pretty sure not all the bodies, you know what I'm saying, are decomposed to the point of unidentification, but the ones that have, you might have to use dental records or some type of, you know what I'm saying, other than that, unless a family member, oh man, and then you don't even know, like, are they properly tagged? Do they have the records of the deceased, you know what I'm saying, family members? Man, it's just too much, bro. So Letitia Johnson, the mother's funeral home was held Thursday at South Chicago's chapel just hours before police showed up. She said the odor was apparent. I knew mildew. I know mildew when I smell mildew. This smelled like death, she said. My brother, he went to the funeral director and said, can you do something about this, man? And that's when he got Lysol and sprayed the carpet. So you got Lysol on top of death. God damn, bro. This man say he sprayed. Hey, these people wild as hell, man. You just spray. So you spray, bro. So you know that's all ain't like air freshener. You know that shit's supposed to be like a disinfectant. So you know that smell is a little bit strong, and that shit choke you up. I hate when motherfuckers spray Lysol just to be spraying that shit, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. See, that's why I asked this question: what are we doing, world? In the world, I mean, to the people. That's the world is the people. Our society. What are we doing, bro? Well, I don't give a fuck what color you are, bro. What race you want to claim, what nationality you are, bro. How old you are, bro. What are we doing, bro? This shit here is ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous. So Johnson said before they held the funeral. Now, mind you, this is a motherfucker trying to hold a. Never mind. Let me read. That's crazy. So I'm no, fuck that. So I'm trying to hold my motherfucking funeral, bro, for my dead family member. And on top of that, bro, we smelling death, bro. And you come bring out some fucking Lysol and you get to spray in the carpet. So now everybody in this motherfucker, like all my guests and your patrons, I guess you can say, now everybody fucking all you know what I'm saying, uncomfortable and messed up because of the smell. Come on, man, this shit crazy, bro. So Johnson
and
said,
never go back in there again, man.
No, they shut them down though, so ain't nobody going back in there. So Johnson said before they held the funeral, she was also asked to do something she never should have been asked to do: dress her mother's body. What the fuck? You what? And then I had to dress my mother. I had to touch her. I was scared to touch my mother. She said, already traumatized by the experience. She asked family members to step in. I'm already going through it with my mama. And then now I got to do this. So I'm getting family members to help. So they don't want to touch my mama. I understand that. So I'm doing the best I can. She said, many of the other family members are in the same boat. Many other, I'm sorry, families are in the same boat. Some came to the building Friday. Man, that shit crazy. Come on, man. Like, nah, you come on, bro. Nah, don't get me wrong. I would want to some people do that though. Some people would say, man, can I dress you out the bed? But see, but that's some extras. That's some people. But come on, bro. The funeral home's supposed to do that, bro. 9 times out of 10, ain't nobody trying to touch on the motherfucking dead, bro. You don't want to be disrespectful or relationships or whatever it was, whatever. Or just because it's a dead motherfucker who wants to touch, and you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to do that shit. And this is what y'all get paid for. This is y'all profession. This is what y'all got into as a life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all not doing it, bro. And I didn't pay for this shit. Man, this shit crazy. This shit crazy, bro. Also, bro, something else. Let me tell you something else that happened, man. So 2 custodians in a school, man, on South Side, Mark Twain, got into it. So I'm thinking when I heard about the school shooting, right? I'm down. I forgot it's summertime school. Kids don't go back to school a couple more weeks and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Or another week or so, right? So, they in the schools right now cleaning them up, sanitizing everything. You know what I'm saying? Putting things back together again. Man, so a damn 2 custodians get into it and shoot each other. No. So he shoot the female and then shoot himself in the head. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, this is crazy, man. Like, what is going on, bro? Now, I don't know the particulars. Um, I read a little bit of this article, man. So I don't know the particulars of if they was in a relationship, um, or or what. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, to be honest with you, I don't know the, what I'm saying, the actual particulars of that. But let's see what the news got to say about it, man. But when I heard it, you know what I'm saying, this shit just shocked the shit out of me, man. Like, I just don't understand. So I don't know what they Mexican, black, whatever. We gonna figure it out through the names though. If they, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? But let me see. I really ain't got shit. Just 2 custodians dead after shooting Monday afternoon at Chicago Elementary. School authorities said um, they're not gonna give you nothing on it. They're not gonna give me nothing on it. Let me see. I don't see here, y'all. Man, see, look, I guess it ain't look good for Chicago, but I don't fuck the street body shit. You don't even want to come working this motherfucker. You feel me? You, you fucking around get shot working in the school around this bitch. This shit is ridiculous, man. This shit is ridiculous. Let's see what they got to say. So 2 people were found shot to death. God damn, why is you even playing? Yeah, so 2 people were found shot to death at Chicago Elementary School. According to the fire officials, 2 people were found dead inside of Mark Twain Elementary School with gunshot wounds. Police did not identify but described them as 63-year-old man and 48-year-old woman. They were custodians. Uh, said both had single gunshot wounds to the head and were taken to an area hospital where they both were pronounced dead. One of the deaths is being investigated as a homicide, according to the police. What led up to the shooting was not immediately clear. So they don't know too much about what led up to the shooting. But they assuming that the man, well, they know that they did say that the man shot the lady and then he shot himself. So again, we don't know if they were involved in a romantic relationship or if it was just a work incident where they got into an argument or something like that, and the old man felt threatened. Listen, we don't know. And then were there other witnesses? Were there other people in the building during the time that they was in the building? So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this ain't came out yet. So, we quite don't know what to expect just yet. But of course, as details unfold, you feel me? We will be bringing y'all more on that. So right now, what I want to do Y'all know we love Nancy around here. y'all know y'all know y'all know we love Nancy around here, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I know, listen, man, I know y'all about tired of it, man, but I got to stay on top of it. They really ain't giving me nothing too much about the young lady, Tay Fortune. That was sung. A lot of people ain't really, you know what I'm saying, talking about it and exposing it. I really can't find too much, but I'm saying, you know. But let's talk about that for a minute. I did watch someone and I seen where the young lady had her hands tied um above her head, so to speak. And she was tied she was found hanging from a tree. Now she wasn't up like up in the air hanging from the tree. You know what I'm saying? She was found just being hung, you know what I'm saying, from like a low level branch type situation. Um but within that, you know, you feel me? So we don't know if that was domestic or altercation that she got into with somebody. So we really don't know. So they currently investigating, so we don't know the particulars of that. But I do know I seen the picture, you know what I'm saying, with her head tied, like they could have been tied possibly behind her head. You know what I'm saying, with an apparatus, which I couldn't make out to be a rope because the picture wasn't clear enough for me to see that. You know what I'm saying, with her hanging from a tree. Like I say, like a lower level branch type, you know what I'm saying, situation. You know, in Jackson, Mississippi, man, the young lady name was Tasia Fortune. She was 29 years old. Nice looking young lady as well. So man, these type of situations, man, that's why I asked the question today, man. World, what are we doing? What's going on, man? You feel me? Not only the crimes that's being committed against us, you know what I'm saying, by other people, but the crimes that we commit against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, like, you feel me? Like, it's to be expected when this shit coming from other people, you know what I'm saying, due to the, you know what I'm saying, systematic oppression and hatred that's being projected and propelled and pushed, you know what I'm saying, in today's society through our history, you know what I'm saying, and in today's society, you feel me? But just done in a different way. And I don't want to be the one to, you know what I'm saying, harp on that, because I do believe that we can come about our situation, you feel me, if we just practice a little bit self-awareness and togetherness. You understand me? You feel me? But I know that's easier said than done as well. And I know there is a process and the steps that we got to take, you know what I'm saying, for us to achieve that. But you know what I'm saying? Tasia Fortune, man, 29 years old, being put in this situation and predicament, man. You know, it's not getting a lot of light like the Nolan Wells situation or like the Nolan Wells case, you feel me? Or like the Carmelo Anthony case, you know what I'm saying? Was getting highlighted. I think, you know, or the Trayvon Martin's, or just any case, man. This is just as important. And don't get me wrong, man. You know, a lot of people say, well, but goddamn, you know, you can't sit up here and go through every, and yes, the fuck you can, because anytime things like this are being done in such an egregious way, and again, you know, I always preach and practice and tell y'all that we're never going to stop, you know what I'm saying, the unalive and the people, you know what I'm saying, the hatred, the disdain, the dislike, you feel me? Like, these are humanistic character traits that's been here since the existence of a human. You feel me? You know, it's just instinctively in us. These are things that we do. You feel me? But there are ways to coexist. So as life evolved and as we evolve and develop and cognitively, you know what I'm saying, come to the consensus of understanding that, yeah, we need each other. Because listen, we got the bartering system, trade systems, you know what I'm saying? You got your foreign allegiance and allies and shit like that. Hey, there's no way in the world that this shouldn't be a worldly thing. You feel me? I believe if we more and practice, and you feel me, like a lot of shit would be better. A lot of shit would just be better. This motherfucker, bro, outside of just the small shit, like, you know, you got to pay the bill, pay the this, but outside a lot of this shit, bro, trading and bartering and supplying electricity, all this shit should be free. This shit should be free. That's not really pushing the fucking economy. I go get a generator. Man, listen, man, it's just crazy, man. I go live off grid, let the wind build up, and like, bro, you feel like, bro, we just shit is crazy. 63-year-old man, because the 48-year-old woman in school at work Could nothing have been that damn serious now. Now, hold on. Now, no, you feel me? Like 63, 48, probably could have been a sugar daddy or pops or something like that. You feel me? He wasn't going. But still, man, you ain't have to check in her head, bro. If you was gonna do that, why would you turn around? Like, I mean, at 63, I feel, you know, like, damn, you know, they locking me up type situation. Shit, like, you know what I'm saying? What type of life is that at 63 going to jail? But then it's like, shit, you feel me? Like, you didn't live. You 63, you feel me? Nah, I get like, let's 75 if you felt as though you was a little vibrant or something. But yeah, but I ain't. But see, but again, you know, I did a live on the choices and decisions you make. Man, they hard to come back from. Your choices, your decisions, and the things that you do and the way you move, you feel me, in this space, man, that we call life. You feel me, and people be trying to rock that, my perception, you feel me, my understanding, you know what I'm saying, my recollection, you know what I'm saying, and that is subjective and objective. Man, get the fuck up out of here, man. You feel me? At the end of the day, and at some point, goddammit, we all got to come to one motherfucking mutual understanding in order to move this thing forward. All that subjective, objective, perception, look, come on, man. That shit ain't doing shit but steady keeping us at a point where we have to need other people to govern or to make these motherfucking hard decisions for you, man. And we can't, and for the life of me, bro, why the fuck? Like, look at this so-called government that we had, bro. This shit is atrocious, bro. You feel me? Motherfucker can't even live in their own communities and get along, bro, without some bullshit, bro. Every time I turn on fucking social media, bro, it ain't nothing but women fighting. I'm tired of seeing that shit, bro. Don't get me wrong, bro. It's a change from all this shit, but just the men, but just dumb shit. I just, one of my Facebook friends, bro, like, the whole block was running and all type of shit, right? Because the motherfucker shooting gun to find out it's a motherfucker just shooting up in the air. Like, ain't even shooting at nobody, just a motherfucker being goofy, shooting up in the air. Being goofy, dude. You feel? The fuck is you being goofy, dude, for? Like, it's 100, it's about 100 motherfuckers out here, bro. You just shooting up in the air being goofy, dude. The fuck? Come on, man. I ain't them bullets come down, my boy. Like, come on, y'all. We gotta do better, G. We gotta do fucking better, man. We just gotta do better, man. This shit. Motherfuckers always say it get greater later. Shit. It's hard to see that shit. It's hard to see that. Hard to see that shit, man. Hard to see that shit, man. But let's get into this, Nancy.
Does this change things? We cannot ignore it. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
If people are sending in videos, they should be using those videos to conduct further investigation.
There is a group of people fighting at 5 p.m. Who are they? Where was he? He wasn't floating in the water. He wasn't on the shore. Tonight, evidence of a so-called mystery altercation is emerging. Straight out to Crime Stories investigative reporter Dave Mack. Dave, what can you tell me first about this so-called mystery altercation? And this is not with the men that went to Horn Island on the boat. You know what? Let me just be clear. Crime Stories is not a symposium, a gathering place for a witch hunt. We want the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells. We are here to convict no one yet. And if evidence of a mystery altercation with other young men arises, we are pursuing it. Dave Mack, what do we know about some mystery altercation? We think after the Triton left Horn Island.
Nancy, this is a mystery altercation that is being described through social media as something that took place around 5 p.m. that day. This is 30 minutes after the Triton already left. And in this particular account, a Bertram boat was seen leaving shortly afterward at a high rate of speed. Now, this social media conversation claims that a person, one of the passengers, pretty certain Nolan Wells, was part of a group that was, quote, almost fighting around 5 p.m.
Bip, 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 bip. Whoa, wait. Hold on, Nelly. Did you say 5 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I jumped in, Dave Mack, is because 5 p.m., if Nolan was seen in an altercation at 5 p.m. on Horn Island, that's after the Triton, had already left. Let's see the boat, control room. We're talking about the boat leaving Horn Island. That boat. Had that boat already left when this altercation occurred? Dave Mack, that's a yes, no.
Yes.
Listen.
But the person said in the DM to another kid that is associated, not any of the kids that I interviewed to talk to, but that could be associated to some degree, that knew Nolan, that this person wrote a message saying, me and my husband saw you arguing with Nolan, and to the effect of, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Nolan and another person that he may have been in an argument with, to me, are people that need to be investigated.
Guys, let me first introduce Cheryl McCollum, Cold Case Investigative Research Institute founder. Let that sink in at coldcasecrimes.org. She's a star of a hit podcast that I have listened to on loop, by the way, Cheryl McCollum. And I don't like much of what you're saying yet. I keep listening. Zone 7, she's author of a brand new book, Swans Don't Swim in a Sewer, solving the cold case of the Flint River killer's daughter, and more. But for my purposes tonight, she's a forensics expert. Greg Morse, before I even get to the merits of this, where I meant to go with this is, everyone has been focusing on the young men that were on the boat that took him to Horn Island. Then we get this audio that we're trying to corroborate, where seemingly in the background, you hear them talking about trying to revive Nolan Wells on the boat. Is that even real?
Now that audio, bro, like real shit. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying, hold that audio, you know what I'm saying, as being too admissible, you know what I'm saying, to some shit, because it's hard to really tell. You feel me now? You know, I can always lead and say, man, it sound like this or that or third, and then, you know, when you hear it like that. But, you know, you do hear the name, that Bart name was mentioned, and we do know that Bart say he wasn't there or some shit like that. You hear me? We do know about the bilge pump situation, and we do know about the granddaddy situation. So, you know what I'm saying, from the audio, I'm not taking anything other than those things from the audio to try to draw my conclusion on whether I think something happened, whether it was foul or whether it was accidental between these boys and Nolan. You feel me? I did hear the "oh my God" as well. I heard that as well. But again, I'm not a boating specialist, right? So I really would like for a person that's really a boating specialist to let me know, you know what I'm saying, how that bilge pump situation is working. And you know what I'm saying? And could the bilge pump cause the boat to sink? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, you know, in 17 or 34 foot of water, you feel me, to the point where you go down or something like that, man. I need to know how that bilge pump situation works. You feel me? Of course, I can look it up myself and, you know what I'm saying, read it. And, you know, I get it because I have done it. But, like, I really want a person who's experienced, you know what I'm saying, who's been on the actual boat when a bilge pump has actually went down, in the situations that they experienced, and how did they fix, and how did they, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I wanna, you know what I'm saying, talk to a person like that, because it can give us a better understanding of that type of situation. But let's get back to Nancy.
We don't know yet, or has it been doctored? Trying to find out. I've got experts telling me, renowned experts, by the way, it's real, and renowned experts saying it's not real. It's just like a trial, right? Where it's expert v. expert, who's telling the truth.
Sure.
I wanted to talk about this mystery altercation. If it happened at 5 p.m., that boat was already gone. Now, as much as some people want to hang the young guys on the boat, I want to make sure we hang the right person. If there is a mystery altercation after that boat lift, we need to be investigating that altercation.
Well, you're 100% right, because the three young men that are, at least the people are saying, are involved in this, that went there with Nolan Wells, there's a specific timeline from what I read. They needed assistance on their boat. They left at 4:30.
You
They had
just
called
gave me
CTO.
a chill down my spine. You can't introduce something because people say, I don't care what people say on either side.
No,
they mean nothing to me. What?
Nancy, that's the problem when we have things like podcasts today and people who are not qualified to talk about serious things like this. They're not experts. They want to get likes. Law enforcement is going to keep information close to the vest.
He saw the DMs. I don't have a reason to think he didn't see the DMs. Now, many people are arguing that he has taken a side. We have not taken a side. I'm on the side of finding out why everybody got back to the mainland except Nolan Wells.
Well,
and
listen,
nobody saw anything.
Teenagers.
Nobody knows anything. It's just like Tupac Shakur got shot on the strip at Vegas, and we still don't know what happened. Nobody saw a thing. That's BS.
These are young men hanging out. It's not unusual one may stay behind to hang out with other people. None of that is unusual for teenagers partying and having a good time. So that fact alone doesn't mean anything. What?
Where's your cell phone? Where is your cell phone? And try not to lie. Where's your cell phone?
Okay, right here.
Oh, really? Because here's mine. So you want to tell me Nolan Wells stayed behind and his cell phone went without him? I understand. Don't everybody start screaming that he didn't want to get it wet. Of course he didn't want to get it wet, but there's ways around that. You can go put it on shore in your shoe like everybody else does to hide it from people and then retrieve it when you go. But no, he let the boat leave with his phone. I agree with his mother on that. That is not Nolan Wells. He was never away from his phone.
So that doesn't mean anything in of itself with what's coming out about this. You know, you're talking about him staying behind. You're talking about there's evidence that he was there after 4:30 p.m. If he's there after 4:30 p.m., Nolan Wells on that island hanging out with other people, that's it. The fact that a cell phone is on a boat and he's not as a teenager doesn't really mean anything at all.
Okay, you know what? I asked you about a mystery altercation, and should we be looking in that direction right now? And you're like going on and on about the cell phone.
No, but
everybody
that's my point.
Cell phone, which is everyone knows. You never
Nancy,
leave
that's
without
my point.
Cell phone.
You have to look at what really happened. If there was this mystery altercation, then yes, the police need to be investigating that. They need to be looking into that.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here. If you are a homeowner, you probably thought, should I call American Financing to refinance and pay off this debt? But you don't because of your low mortgage rate. That low rate, it's not saving you if you're drowning in credit card interest. People are calling American Financing, and American Financing is saving customers an average of $800. That's not in all, that's a month by using their
Diddy, my boy Diddy. What's happening, Diddy? Diddy from the Austin sector in the motherfucking bed. Hey, Diddy, your ass a fool, man. Hey, boy. Hey, Diddy. Hey, don't go nowhere. Stay here real quick, Diddy. Your ass, you clipped me in 318 when your ass was in the chat asking questions about the Olo and motherfucking Lexi shit. Boy, you was a fool, boy. Did you really clip us, bro, and do that shit? I watched that shit like, God damn, this nigga here, man. Hey, man, big shout out to Diddy, man, for being in the building, man. You Austin boys is wild as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be over there wilding, man. Y'all be over, but y'all fun, though. I fucking Lane, Rax, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Ted over there, you feel me? Stunner, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know, man, I fuck with y'all, man. You feel? That's just a few. I don't really know everybody, but them the few, you know what I'm saying, that I've been, you know what I'm saying, in tune with since I've been fucking with the sector, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but G, them niggas is crazy, G. Boy, I'm telling you, boy. See, I try to stay away from all that. You feel me? That's why, look, y'all, that's why we got the community family peace sector. You feel me? The community family peace sector. CFP around this bitch. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We don't get me wrong, we get a little toxic, we get outside our bodies, but you know, we come back though. We like to come back. Let's get back to Nancy, y'all.
And hey, take it for what it's worth. Try to get the truth out of what we're hearing. Okay, listen.
Nolan and another person that he may have been in an argument with, to me, are people that need to be investigated.
With that, I agree with Tatum. As much as we disagree on practically everything else, if this happened. And forget about the girl. I'm talking about the altercation. Cheryl McCollum, come on. He dies. Nobody sees him. The others get back safely. Now we're hearing about an altercation afterwards. And I'm not ruling out that he was on that boat when they left.
See, and that's the crazy part about nobody seen shit. That's wow.
Look at who was angry. Look if there was an altercation. I don't know what happened, but when I hear altercation after the Triton left, I've got to go there.
You got to look at it. You absolutely cannot ignore it. But one thing we already know from the second autopsy, they would have mentioned if he had any type of injury to his knuckles, if he had been in a fight. We didn't hear anything about abrasions or bruising or any type of injury that would be indicative of somebody that is a college football player.
Whoa. Okay, now I just told everybody that you're a forensic expert. It's starting to taste like a dirt sandwich because. Okay.
Hey, hey, Nancy, a motherfucking fool, boy. Hey, Nancy, wait a minute now. Bitch, I done introduced you as my forensic specialist. You supposed to be talking what I'm talking. You ain't talking what I'm talking right now, bitch. You have to fix and correct that. Look at her. Look how she looking at Nancy. Look how she looking at Nancy like shit. All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna let you sit in the corner and think about what you just said. Joe Scott Morgan joining me, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University.
Oh shit, Nancy put in the corner, y'all. Nancy put in the corner, y'all.
Author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon, star of a hit series, Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. He is a death investigator with over 10,000 death scenes under his belt, deaths of all genre. Joe Scott Morgan.
Well, I'm gonna say this too. If I got jumped, yeah, you ain't gonna see no abrasions and bruises on my knuckles. If motherfuckers jump me and I ain't gonna put. If I ain't get a chance to throw a punch, goddamn it, you feel like shit? Yeah, I ain't gonna be. My knuckles ain't gonna be bruised. But if this shit happened in the water, we don't see. That's what I'm saying though. We don't know who did what and how what happened. So that's why I say, let the investigation proceed and see, what come about.
Let's refresh Cheryl McCollum's recollection. That's what you say in court when obviously the witness is gone off the rails. Your Honor, pause, Your Honor, objection. May I refresh the witness's recollection? In other words, get it together. Don't you remember what we just talked about before you got on the stand and you give them a piece of paper and go, can we see that the drawings on the autopsy control room? Joe Scott, there's a big, thank you. There's a big honking mark, subcutaneous, deep reddening tissue on his occipital. If I hit somebody in the back of the head.
And here goes the thing. This is what they keep saying. Because if you read it here, it says Nolan Xavier Wells clarification diagram. And then on the other side, it says red discoloration. You know what I'm saying? Of soft tissue. So they were specific about saying red discoloration versus a bruising or, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, because then that would have led to, okay, well, what was the cause of it? So, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the word. All about the word.
It'd be right there. We don't know what that is.
No, we don't. But to Cheryl's point, she's accurate. And here's why. Because in forensics, it's not just about positive findings. It's also about negative findings, those things that we are absent. So in that report, as she had mentioned, there was no indication that there was any kind of contusions on the hand, the arm, no kind of defensive event like a parry with a forearm, scuffing of the knuckles, that sort of thing. This forensic pathologist that did the second assessment didn't see any evidence of that. And so that's the first place I'm going to go to, aside from not having the actual primary autopsy report that has not been released yet. But you've got an individual that has in fact been retained by the family that's making this assessment. And it's a pretty damn thorough assessment, as a matter of fact, based upon many of them that I've read over the years. You don't see any kind of insults to the arms, the hands, anything like this. The one thing about that thing in the back, this focal area that they're talking about is, and I come back to this all the time, Nancy, is that his body Nolan's body is in such a state of decomposition to this point that he cannot make a definitive assessment on that area. And he did a multi-layered dissection, which, by the way, according to him, had not been done by the state medical examiner's office in Mississippi. He just went about it a different way. And as a matter of fact, if you like that one, I got another one. The examination that this physician in D.C. did on Nolan's remains ranks right up there with the most thorough, hear me talking, the most thorough dissection that you can possibly do on human remains. It's the same one that we do on bodies that have died, individuals that have died that have been incarcerated, in custody deaths. You know what all that means, in the back of a cruiser, in a holding cell, in a prison. Those autopsies rank right up there with the most thorough that we can go. It's a very deep dive that they did on his body.
Joe Scott, you are stating that due to the level of decomposition in Nolan Wells's body, that you can't.
And why are they blanking out the pictures with him with these guys? We already know what the hell they look like. Stop blanking they goddamn
really figure
faces
out
out.
why his occipital bone area had deep reddening, and that was seen nowhere else in the body. That's because of decomposition. Isn't that?
First of all, they're not minors and they're not kids.
True.
Show their faces.
Well, it's true in the sense that that's what
Didn't you just say that?
I'm repeating what the physician said in his autopsy report. I didn't do the examination.
So then that would be a yes. So at that level of decomp that you're claiming could obscure the nature of the deep reddening on his occipital area, but yet on the other side of your mouth, you're claiming that even with this intense decomposition, you didn't see evidence of any reddening on his knuckles or any indication of a fight. So you want it two ways. You want to say decomp, can't tell what that was on the back of his head, but even though he's highly decomposed, I can tell you he didn't have any reddening on his knuckles. Really?
No.
Because I see a problem with that.
Okay, you've skinned your knee before, right? Okay. If you have an abrasion, that's completely different than a contusion. That means you have scraping and the tearing away of the skin. That's something that's very obvious. And guess what? I've been in enough fist fights in my life that I know what scraping. Right, I know. And you're misstating that because it's not a matter of reddening. When we look at hands, we also look at contact points where people are being abraded as a result of scuffing their hands. That's different than a color discoloration. We're talking about the top layer, the epidermis down to the dermis is being scraped away. He doesn't see any evidence of that in his
I'm not talking about a scrape. I'm talking about if he had, for instance, reddening from a welt, the beginnings of a bruise, with that level of decomp, you're telling me you could still make that out?
No, those two things cannot exist in the same universe. You have to have an abraded area, and there would be multiple of them on his hands if he is punching or trying to defend himself. And yes, we can make out bruises. Yeah, we can make out bruises.
You don't always have to have scrapes on your hand when you throw a punch. You don't always have to have cuts on your hand when you throw a punch. That's not true.
Well, that sounds mighty convenient. If that's
no, that's bullshit. That's facts. You don't have to have cuts on your hands when you throw a punch. That's facts. I'd have been in enough fights. I don't know what type of fights he had. I've been in enough fights too where I didn't clear motherfucker. I mean, where I didn't have you feel me, and my hands were A-okay.
The road you want to go down because I've seen them many times.
That's what I'm telling you. What you're saying is mighty darn convenient. That the reddening on the back of his head, can't really tell anything because he's so decomposed, but you can see his hands well enough to know he was not in a fist fight. Yeah, right. That's convenient, Joe Scott. Look, I'm not trying to convict anybody. I'm trying to find the truth. I'm trying to find out if this evidence of an altercation really happened and to further muddy the.
And if he did get into a fist fight and he got jumped, he probably wouldn't have no bruises on his hand. You got to think about it, shit, if he getting jumped. But I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm putting anybody in this situation. If I'm getting jumped, 9 times out of 10, if I don't throw that first or that second punch, you feel me? Like, yeah, it's too late to be throwing punches, so you're not finna, you know what I'm saying?
The waters. Now we have more witnesses stating what they saw.
Another report came to me of someone saying that they saw Nolan with a girl, and they believe that they saw Nolan and this girl struggling in the water, not necessarily drowning, but struggling. Like
Yeah, me personally, mine ain't never hurt Tim. You feel me? But I ain't never had no cut. I done had a cut a few times. Depends on if I hit him up fucking mouth, hit him in the teeth or something like that. But usually I don't get no cuts. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got no cuts and shit like that from fighting. You feel me? Like no, so you don't always get cuts and shit.
it was obvious enough that the person was concerned when they saw Nolan in the water, and he was with this girl.
You know, that's from Officer Tatum's show. Cheryl McCollum, it seems to me that that's not true. Because don't you think if a witness saw one or two people, quote, struggling in the water, I mean, I would try to help them.
It makes no sense.
And they
that
did
wouldn't
nothing?
it doesn't make any sense. That wouldn't be their focal, that they would pay attention to those two people that are struggling to see, is one going under and not resurfacing? What can we do to help? The idea that they would watch that, see a struggle, and then what? Turn back and finish barbecuing? That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Not at all. So this is a problem, Greg Morse. You're a veteran trial lawyer. We're getting so much information, and a lot of it is inconsistent. And that is why you have cross-examination. So you can test the evidence, test whether it's true under the fire of cross-exam. When you have conflicting stories like this, my instinct is to go with the one that makes the most sense. What do you make of these claims that Nolan was struggling in the water? I really believe if he had been, quote, struggling in the water, that either she or her friends would have come forward by now. I mean, what about these guys on the boat that had already left? Don't they want to save them? I mean,
Well,
I'm just trying to find out what happened to Nolan. And if this is true, it may place him on the island after they left.
Well, that's it. And that's what the police are doing, is they're going to run these leads down, and they're going to try to verify what's credible and what's not before they go to a grand jury. They're going to exclude information that they think is completely uncredible. However, all of this information, if people are arrested at some point in the future and charged with a crime for Nolan Wells' death, then all of these conflicting stories, all of these different timelines, they become a conflict in the evidence. And as you know, Nancy, there's three ways a jury can find reasonable doubt if this ever gets there. And one of those ways is in a conflict in the evidence. So these are all favorable things that would benefit a defendant or defendants down the road. However, there's a reason why law enforcement does investigations. Professionals do it, not podcasters talking about it. Verified sources, all of that is nonsense. The police are going to keep information to themselves. They're going to also keep information private so they can test statements that come from people and verify what they're saying based on factors that don't get released in the media. So clearly something happened after 4:30 when the Triton boat apparently left. And all of these things the police will find, they will discover. You know, the police can discover whose phones were active at the time in that whole area if they choose. May not be able to use it in court anymore after the recent Supreme Court decision a few weeks ago on cell site location information. However, it's an investigative tool that they can line up who's there. They can also line these things up by the boats, right? And they're calling CETO and things like that. So these are all things the police are going to verify and shake out what they believe led to this young man's death.
I can get the GPS, Morse. I can get the GPS. Yep. I can get the cell phone data. I can get the tracking data. I can tell exactly what time the boat left. But I can tell the truth of that. But I can't tell the truth right now about these conflicting reports. Was he on the boat? His phone was on the boat. That's the whole point. He's traveling with his phone, then he's on the boat. They're saying, no, he wasn't on the boat. Now this altercation has arisen, evidence of that emerging after the boat left. Who's telling the truth? The mom, his mom says, no way would he have let the boat leave without his phone. Okay, that's it.
And if I did leave, give me my damn phone. Give my phone.
Said the mom is getting death threats. Nolan Wells' mother dealing with not only her son is gone, he's dead. The investigation going on now, she's getting threats. Isn't it true, Susan Hendricks, joining us, investigative journalist, author of Down the Hill, My Descent into the Double Murder in Delphi, that
I don't know who that
actually
is.
Called for an investigation into Nolan Wells' mother? Isn't she a home health care nurse?
She is, and it was an anonymous call saying that she needed to be investigated. To me, it was outright backlash connected to what happened to her son. It's despicable considering everything she's already going through. Anonymous calls to say that she's not up to par and needs to be investigated. It's sickening.
Attention homeowners, Nancy Grace here. Scammers are using AI to steal from you with forged paperwork and just a signature. They can claim control of your property on record. Then they take out loans against that property, or they even sell it for quick cash. Then they can borrow against your equity or even sell your property long before you realize anything's even wrong. And that is where Home Title Lock comes in. 24/7 monitoring, urgent alerts, a team of restoration experts that spend up to $1 million restoring your title if you're a victim. So when is the last time you checked your title? You can do it today and make sure you're not already a victim. Use our promo code Nancy, Nancy, at HomeTitleLock.com to get a free FREE title history report, plus a free trial of the $1 million triple lock protection. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code Nancy. Good luck. So let me ask you this, Cheryl. How would you go about investigating this altercation, this alleged altercation that took place after the Triton left? Placing Nolan still at Horn Island.
Sure. I need their photo evidence if they have it. I need the eyewitnesses, the ear witnesses, who saw what, when did they see it, how can they prove it? So if they can tell me who was in the altercation with him, then we're going to bring them in if they haven't been brought in. If there's some type of something they've captured on video or a photograph, that would be great. If it's associated with a boat, does that boat have GPS? When did that boat leave? Where did they go? I want all of that. So, you take the totality. You don't just take one thing, but, you're not going to take somebody's word that just put something on the internet. Have they gone down and talked to law enforcement? Will they come down and swear to what they are saying? That's where you're going to start.
The investigation into the death of Nolan Wells is ongoing. If you know or think you know anything, don't hide under your bed. Dial 228-769-3063. Repeat, 228-769-3063. There is a $125,000 reward for information leading to the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells. We remember an American hero, Corrections Officer Anthony Brown, Nassau County Sheriff's, just 30, shot breaking up a fight, leaving behind his wife and 4 children without a dad. American hero, Officer Anthony Brown. Thank you to our guests, but especially to you for being with us tonight as we search for the truth in the death of a young man, Nolan Wells. Nancy Grace signing off for tonight, but I'll see you tomorrow night. And until then, good night, friend.
Yeah, so man, this is it's a real touchy situation, man. You feel me with this Nolan Wells shit, man. Real touchy. You feel me, real iffy. And I get it, you know what I'm saying, especially with the public, want answers, and what I'm saying, we demand that, what I'm saying, some type of justice, get handed down. But again, I do want to say, man, that I'm not for just any and everybody going to jail. If these young men didn't have anything to do with what happened to them, what I'm saying, physically, or if they really wasn't a part of it, you feel me? If it comes to find out to saying that they wasn't, okay, that's cool. But if they can be placed there, if they didn't do anything and they could be placed there, you feel me? There still should be some type of justice handed down for them within that. You feel me? Because it could be, it just seems like a lot of people are placing their timelines, what I'm saying, just in or out of the range of the plausibility or the possibility of them being or crossing paths with other people that's saying that they seen Nolan on that day. You feel me? Because the coach said what he seen to between 2:30 to 3:30. Old girl said, it was between 3:30 and 4:30. And then, they say they did last seen them at 3 o'clock with Katie. You know what I'm saying? So even if y'all did see him at 3 o'clock with Katie, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say you seen her at 3. Katie said, well, you know what I'm saying? It was between 3 and whatever time, right? But that still means that it was after you guys seen her. So she was saying that he was going to get back on the boat with y'all. So, I mean, like, but yeah, but you know, and I don't want to push that narrative about any conspiratorial type of situation about the people staying away from each other at a certain timelines and shit like that, y'all, because I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Don't nobody know. You feel me? And I'm gonna keep it 100, man. You feel me? A lot of times, man, and I don't care if you like me or not when I say this. We gonna push that narrative about Mississippi being a bad place or Mississippi being a place about what, you know what I'm saying, particularly it ain't been too, you know what I'm saying, kosher for people of color. You feel me? Melanated people, women and men alike, and children as well. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But Mississippi, man, it had a long life past, bro. Like it was a little white girl that hung us, well, that committed suicide. You feel me? Due to the bullying and shit that was going on in Mississippi. Mississippi, man, bro. It's a hell of a place, man. You feel me? If you ain't with the program, you feel me? I guess, and I can only say that from the outside looking in because I'm not a Mississippian. I don't live there. You feel me? So I don't know about the people, the culture. You feel me? I only know about the history through, you know what I'm saying, what's been told, or you know what I'm saying, a perspective or a narrative of others. You feel me? Because again, like I said, I never experienced anything outside of, you know what I'm saying, maybe going down there. You feel me? In some summers, man. You feel me? In Shelby, Mississippi, and fucking with my people. You feel me? Like, but again, that's not all over Mississippi. One part of Mississippi don't dictate everywhere. You feel me? So that's mailman. What's going on? So we got to know that as well. But again, man, you know, it's bad to push a narrative on something, man. Say somebody called the numbers. Let's see if anyone picks up. What they say, they say the number was linked. Hey, y'all, they say the number was linked to the judge. But again, I don't want to put that out there like, you feel me? Like that was yeah, but you know, they say the number was linked to the judge, you know what I'm saying? One of the kids' mom, you know what I'm saying, stepmom, who was a judge, you feel me? They say the hotline was linked to her and all type of craziness and shit like that. I don't know how true that was. I don't think that's true, man. I don't even think that's possible. Can you do that? You feel me? Can you really do that? Can you really, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you really like just like that's crazy. If you could do that, that's fucking crazy. If you're a judge and you can push, you feel me, for the number to be, you know what I'm saying, pushed to your that's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna say that's what happened and that's what they did. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Or that's what was going on. But yeah, man, like, you know, we push that narrative about Mississippi being a messed up place, you know what I'm saying? So of course it's easy to say that, yeah, man, you know, this, that, and the third probably happened down there because of this, that, and the third, and woo wop the bam and da 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 da. We get that. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and on top of that though, for a lot of people that's, you know, trying to say it ain't racism or it ain't this, like, but can you blame? Like, let's be for real. I know you want to operate on a system of the law. You feel me? I get that. I wholeheartedly understand that. I'm cognitive. I have the ability to be aware, and you feel me? Like we got that. But you know, for people who have been put in such a, you feel me, spot through certain transitions throughout the evolution process of the United States Corporation of America. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We got to understand how that shit can be, you feel me, a trauma to people. You feel like, come on, bro. Now, and don't get me wrong. I ain't mad at no motherfucking man for being, you know what I'm saying, of the European descent. You feel me? European American descent, man, saying fuck that, da 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 da. My people that listen, man, I ain't mad at none of that shit. You feel me? Like, and can't nobody else who ain't y'all be mad. You feel me? You did what you did. You got what you got through the ways and shit that you got it. I ain't saying it was necessarily the right way. You feel me? But it was a way, right? And that way got you on top. You feel me? Motherfuckers is, you feel me? Getting down, doing what they doing. You feel me? You feel me? That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So, but, you know what I'm saying? But it's always a but. And I know in the back of some motherfuckers, man, they like, oh, see that, go that, and the word with that, but. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, man? Shit just be fucked up. But we as a people, though, you feel me, man? We got to stop, you know what I'm saying, with all this bullshit, man, that's going on online, bro. And to a lot of this shit play out. Like, I get it, man. We got a lot of theories. Even myself, I have a lot of theories. But guess what? Outside of those theories, I still don't know what the fuck actually happened. I can't really, you know what I'm saying, diagnose or give y'all an analytical or forensic analytical, you know what I'm saying, synopsis of what went on. You feel me? I ain't looked at no boats. You feel me? I ain't talked to no people. You feel me? I ain't did no investigation and no witnesses that was there. You feel me? Neither have us. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we going off of is the speculation of that phone call. You know how they pick that phone call apart, and things like that. See, but even within inside of that, you feel me? The inconsistencies within inside of that, you know, I still feel it's enough to you know do a little bit more deep dive. And will they do a deeper dive into it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, but what I want to do, man, I want to get into this next video real quick. Don Lemon. You feel me? I'm not really a Don Lemon fan, but you know, he been covering it as well. And he been out here, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing. So big shout out to Don. And big shout out to Nancy too, man. Like I told y'all, man, I am so shocked that Nancy Grace is getting down. You know what I'm saying? On this case. Usually Nancy is a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Big ups to Nancy, man. I can say she on top of it, man. You feel me? Nancy be on top of it. But let's check out Don Lemon, man. You feel me? What Don Lemon talking about? You know what I'm saying? He ain't really my cup of tea, y'all, but we gonna check him out anyway. See what he got going on. We'll see what Don got going on.
Haven't heard about this. Warren Hudson, I think he's been all over the news. We have heard about him. They sat down with Officer Tater and their attorney, J. Tyler Cox. And yes, this is the same person who already did an interview with Warren last month, an interview that got a lot of attention and a lot of criticism. So they went back to him. All right. So consider the source. That's interesting to me, because if you're trying to get people to stop focusing on you, this is a pretty strange way to do it, in my opinion. You go back to Horn Island on Friday with your lawyers. Your lawyers talk about the trip. They talk about the water. They talk about the currents. They talk about this area they call the washing machine, right? That area they call the washing machine. Then a few days.
Now, I ain't seen the second interview, y'all. We might have to tap into that second interview. I ain't see the second interview with the lawyers and everything. We might have to get that.
Days later, all three of you are sitting down for another interview with the same far-right political content creator who already brought a ton of controversy into this story. I don't know if you have a crisis PR person, but if y'all are listening to me, you need to get another one. Or maybe someone's at the law firm is telling you that this is, but this, I've been doing media for a long time, and this is not a good strategy. So at this point, I think that we can stop pretending that this is all happening around them. They are participating in it, it appears. They are trying to shape how people see them. And I understand why. I really do. People have accused these young men of awful things. Some people, not any responsible person, but some people online have gone way beyond asking questions and have basically convicted them in the court of public opinion with no evidence. That is wrong. But trying to correct that does not mean that every move they make suddenly makes sense. In this interview, Warren says that he wishes that they had never gone.
Now look, y'all, being found guilty in the court of public opinion, be that as it may, wrong or whatever, right? Because again, we ain't the motherfuckers, we ain't the judge, jury, executioner, and no shit like that. But that don't mean motherfuckers don't be knowing what's going on and what they talk about. Now because you got to think about this, y'all. Out of all these theories that's been said or that's been spoken upon out here, you know what I'm saying, with this Nolan Wells shit, bro, I guarantee you somebody done hit it on the head. When it come out, have it come out, if it come out to be that way, somebody gonna be like, see, I told you, I knew. I said that's what happened.
On to Horn Island at all. He says that he thinks about what he could have done differently. He says that Nolan was like a brother to him. And that's, I mean, that sounds like regret to me, right? And I can believe, yeah, look, let's take him at his word that he believes what he is saying and he feels what he's saying. I'm not interested in mocking that or making or really picking apart every word that he says, looking for some hidden confession. But it still leaves us with the same problem, I believe. We do not know how Nolan Wells died. That has not changed. There is no official cause or manner of death. No one has been arrested. No one has been charged. His family still does not have the answers that they want. And around that huge unanswered question, we now have this very public effort by the friends and their lawyers to defend themselves. They talk about the CETO call. They point to video of the boat and they say Nolan was not there. They also, they ask why they would have called CETO and then the Coast Guard if they had something to hide. Their lawyer says that those are the actions of innocent men. Okay, that's the argument they're making. But a lawyer saying his clients are innocent is still a lawyer saying his clients are innocent. It's not an investigative finding. And the choice of Officer Tatum matters too. Or Tater, what is it, Tater? He is not some random journalist or who wandered into this case. He has a very clear political identity and a very clear audience. The last interview with him already got heat. Nolan's family pushed back on parts of the coverage, and yet they chose him again. That tells you something. It tells you that they like that platform. They think it helps them. Maybe they think his audience is more likely to believe them. Maybe they think he will give them room to tell their side without the kind of questioning they would get somewhere else. Whatever the reason, it is a...
Now, don't get me wrong. We got a lot of people out here that, you know what I'm saying, might fuck with Officer Tatum or whatever, rock with, you feel me, you know what I'm saying, some of the shit he got going on, but I don't think nobody for real right now, you feel me, going through this case, watching this shit, really. You feel, so his audience is more of the people that's opposing him. So for them to think that his platform right now would be helping them, you know what I'm saying, change, you know what I'm saying, to push or maybe subscribe or help people subscribe to some other different type of narrative about what went on that day. Like, not saying that, you know, they did or they didn't have nothing to do with it. I just think, you feel me? I'll leave Tatum. Tatum, yeah, I'd have left him alone.
And people are allowed to notice it. Just it is their choice to do it.
Deacon Frank, what's going on, my boy?
People are allowed to notice it as well, especially when race is already part of the public conversation around Nolan's death. And they talk about that as well. They say that I think they're getting race, people talking about race and racism and racist all confused. It's not, you know, just because you talk about race, it doesn't mean that it's racist. Just because race plays a role doesn't mean that it's racist. I mean, there are some things that, you know, I was talking to someone today and they called it small town thinking or small minded thinking. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood. In this new interview, the friends pushed back hard on the idea that race had anything to do with what happened. One of them says that their friendship with Nolan proves the opposite. Okay, look, I have friends of all ethnicity. You guys know who I'm married to. I don't think that settles anything. Having a black friend does not answer every...
Oh shit! I don't think you help it right there, Lennon. I don't think you help it right there. You feel me? And then again, I wonder what the conversations at home with, you know what I'm saying, with his white husband is like. You feel me? When it comes to situations and shit like this, because I know he got a, even if it was a woman. You feel me? I wonder what the conversation was going to be like. So I don't want to try to turn this like it's a thing against the community or whatever the case may be. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, but man or woman, you feel whatever you come home to, you know what I'm saying? Be it as a man, it's just, you know, it's a man. I wonder what some of the conversations are like, and you know what I'm saying? Does his husband show empathy? You know what I'm saying? Or do he feel the same way, or do he have, you know what I'm saying, a different type of opinion? And shit like that, you hear me? That's always interesting, or that's always like a topic of discussion or a point of contention, you know what I'm saying, with interracial type situations. But let's continue with
every question about race. It also does not prove racism had anything to do with Nolan's death. Both of those things can be true. I'm not interested in focusing on an answer before the evidence gives us one. But I do think it is fair to ask why they keep choosing such a politically loaded place to make their case. This is now part of the story. Not because I want it to be, but because they keep making it part of the story. And that is what I was getting at this morning. If the goal is to lower the temperature, they are not doing that. They went back to Horn Island. They hired lawyers who are talking publicly. They are threatening defamation suits. Now they are doing another interview. And so that doesn't appear to be backing away at all. It's bringing more attention and then trying to manage it. Maybe it's what their attorneys think that they have to do. Fine, if that's what they think, but then call it what it is. It is a defense strategy. It is a public strategy. And none of that answers what happened to Nolan. That's the part that I don't want to get lost in all of this, because every few days there's another thing, another interview, another clip, another lawyer, another explanation, another argument online. And Nolan is still dead. His parents are still waiting. We still don't know how he died. That is the thing that should bother everyone. Not whether Warren sounded convincing enough, not whether Jax gave a good answer, not whether Officer Tater likes their explanation, not whether somebody on TikTok thinks they cracked the case. What happened to Nolan? What happened to Nolan? That is still the question. And I think people are tired of being told that they have to choose a side before we even have the answer. You don't have to. You can say that these young men have been unfairly accused by some people. You can also say their media choices are strange. You can say Warren sounds genuinely upset to some, to others, not so much. You can also say regret is not evidence. You can say that they have every right to defend themselves. You can also say the public has every right to look at what they are saying and ask whether it makes sense. It's not that complicated. The complicated part is the actual death investigation. And the question is, what happened to Nolan Wells? At the end of the day, an official investigation will determine that, not interviews on social media or digital platforms or far right-wing commentators. That's what will get the answers that people are asking for. What happened to Nolan Wells? We're going to continue to talk about this. We're going to play you some of the interview in just moments, but I want to get to my next guest here, who is Attorney Ty Cobb, who's joining us right now. And I want to talk to him. Thank you for joining us, Attorney Ty Cobb. I want to talk to you this evening about the Attorney General. And you did an explosive interview with my friend Mehdi Hassan. And you basically, correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying that our democracy is in danger with this man being confirmed as the Attorney General of the United States. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. What do you say?
He's here, but I'm not sure he can hear us.
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you the whole time, though, up to now.
Could you hear me? Could you hear what I said to you?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes, we got you. Okay.
I think he can hear me, but not you.
I can hear you, but I can't hear Don.
Okay, tell him to go out and come back in.
And I was fine until you started the show, and then it died.
Do you mind leaving the studio and coming back in? It usually fixes the problem. Thank you.
Okay. So as we do that, a word from our sponsors.
America has a lot of religions and a lot of people who are not religious at all. So whose beliefs should the government follow? Well, none of them. That's the entire point. We're seeing growing efforts to blur the line between religion and government in public schools, federal policy, and public life. But once government starts choosing a religion or choosing religion over non-religion, somebody's freedom is going to lose. America recently celebrated 250 years since declaring independence from kings and divine rule, and religious freedom has always included two rights, the right to believe and the right not to believe. That's why the Freedom from Religion Foundation works to keep state and church separate. FFRF stands up for free thinkers, atheists, agnostics, humanists, religious minorities, and anybody who believes government should answer to the people, not to the church. Visit ffrf.us/Don or text Don to 511-511 to join or find out more. That's Don to 511-511 because the First Amendment belongs to everybody.
Now to speak on that, that's going to be hard because you feel me. We have always responded to the church. You know what I'm saying? The church it's always been a deciding factor and very heavily prevalent, you know what I'm saying, in today's society, be it political and economic, you know what I'm saying, with this development and progress. So I get it though, separation of church and state is a thing, you feel me? It's a real thing, you know, and we can get into that a little bit later. I understand that, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But you know, man, the people gonna go with whatever, you feel me? Whatever they think is conducive and helpful in their lives and shit like that. But I think Trump trying to put the God shit and the praying back in school and shit like that.
Oh, thank you very much. So listen, I want to ask you about the person who's confirmed to be Attorney General, Todd Blanche. You did an explosive interview with my friend Mehdi Hassan, and you said basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, correct me if I'm wrong, you think that our democracy is in danger with him confirmed as the Attorney General of the United States.
Yes, I think it's in danger with him as the head of the Justice Department, which he's been for several months now, of course. Keep in mind, Trump terminated Bondi because she was not pursuing his revenge prosecutions successfully enough or at a pace that he preferred. Blanche got the message loud and clear, promptly indicted Comey. Rewarded Trump with a looting of the Treasury for $1.8 billion to set up a slush fund, and then immunized Trump and his every life form on the planet to whom he's related from IRS penalties and interest and further scrutiny. So yes, I think we're in some severe danger. We've got an attorney general who, not since John Mitchell have we had anybody whose character has been so in question. And I think the elections are imperiled because of his presence.
You think the elections are in peril? Talk to me about that, Ty. Why do you say that?
Oh, very much so. I mean, I've been talking about the election since January of 2024 or 2025 when Trump was sworn in. Trump does not intend to allow the elections to go normally or to honor the results, which are likely to sweep the Republicans at least out of the House, if not the Senate. Blanche will be his point person as he and Mike Johnson refused to seat Democrats in January of next year. And keep in mind, Bill Barr was asked by President Trump to seize voting machines and ballots in an election in 2020 where Trump got beaten by 7 million votes. So Barr appropriately refused to do that and ultimately resigned because of Trump's frustrations over the election. And Blanche has shown no indication that he would ever refuse an order of the president, lawful or unlawful.
Well, he has no guardrails around him. He has no one to tell him no this time.
No, as you saw in the Oval Office when he was sworn in today with the axis of evil, Emil Bove, Dash Patel, and Stephen Miller.
Yeah, let's watch part of that. Here it is.
The anti-weaponization fund, do you think it's still alive at this point? And are there any options that you're looking at to perhaps?
Well, that'll be up to Todd Blanche. He was new, and who will be, I think, a great attorney general. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, so that was after the swearing in, but he did comment on it. So, obviously he's on board with this. And that anti-weaponization fund, right? I think that was a head fake saying that he was going to take it off the table. But you're the attorney. They can bring it back, right? Does that mean because they say they're going to take it off in a letter that was written to lawmakers, does that mean it's going to happen?
Not at all. In fact, the quote order that Blanche signed has no legal force in effect. The agreement itself between the Justice Department and Trump entities and Trump's sons, it specifically says that it can't be modified without the written affirmation of all parties. That wasn't done. So no, this was all theater. Was designed so that Republican senators could pretend to have a spine, which they quickly abandoned in voting for him, and they will bring it back. They will find a way to reward the violent insurrectionists that stormed the Capitol, and to preserve Trump's immunity from the IRS, which is certainly not American because it puts one man above the law and his whole family.
Mm-hmm. Ty Cobb, if you can explain to our audience, I know that you were an impeachment lawyer for Donald Trump during the first term, right? You were his attorney.
No, so I did not. No, so yeah. I was not an impeachment lawyer. I was the special White House counsel managing the Mueller investigations and related congressional activity.
Got it. But you are no longer a fan of Donald Trump.
I was not a fan then, but I was doing my job as I swore to defend and protect the Constitution.
But you don't speak favorably of him now. Why is that?
Well, I think we've had years of let's go back to January 6th, if not beyond. We had a violent insurrection at the Capitol that he fomented, that he left Mike Pence swinging on the vine when people were threatening to hang him and did nothing. And since that time, we've had claims of the stolen election, which we all know to be fraudulent. He's enriched himself and his family by billions of dollars. He's selling access to early presidential decisions to Wall Street firms for $100,000 a month. The man is corrupt beyond measure, and we've never seen anything like this in the history of the planet. I mean, Idi Amin and Putin would look on Trump with great envy.
When you say that, you saw it. I don't know why I thought you were an impeachment lawyer. I've forgotten more than I can remember.
That's quite all right.
So pardon me for that. But here's the thing. I can see it a mile away. The new folks, so to speak, who have come around, like the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world, Tucker Carlson and others, Candace Owens and others. And I'm just talking about the media figures, even some lawmakers saying, this is not what I voted for. This is not the Donald Trump I know. On what planet are they living? Because I thought these were fairly intelligent people and they couldn't see.
Man, everybody know what Donald Trump was on. That's bullshit. Everybody knew what Donald was on.
What Donald Trump is and what he might do in a second term?
Well, I think many of the Republicans are living on a planet where Donald Trump controls the funding for, their elections and ambitions and desire for power. They take Bill Cassidy from, Louisiana. I mean, he.
What's going on, Gay Debate? Why you feel that way, Gay Debate? Let us know why you feel that way.
He needs to be able to, drink at the country club bar with his Republican friends, and voted to confirm Blanche apologetically. I mean, almost admitting that it was not in the interest of the American citizens, and it certainly was contrary to the oath that he took with regard to the Constitution. So I think these people are focused on their own ambitions and their own welfare and power.
Mm-hmm. This is him on Face the Nation. Here it is.
And you are confident that he will uphold the Constitution with the upcoming elections? There are Democrats saying he may not.
Well, of course, there's always this existential anxiety.
Yes.
But I am as confident as you can be about the future. You are.
Yeah.
I cannot predict the future, and this is not a black or white decision, but I'm confident on that.
What is he talking about?
No idea. There's never been a decision that was as black or white. You either vote for somebody who you either vote for or against somebody who tried to loot the treasury of $1.8 billion and unilaterally immunize the president and his family from IRS scrutiny, unlike every other American. I mean, it doesn't take much to make that decision if you're going to make it consistent with the oath that you took to preserve and protect the Constitution.
Have you ever, I am shocked, Ty, maybe I'm just naive, by the law firms that have bent the knee, the media folks who have bent the knee, the politicians who have done the same. Does anybody have any backbone anymore? And what do you make of that, especially the law firms, considering that you're...
I think the law firms responded pathetically. The ones who agreed to serve the president and donate millions of dollars and hours of time to the president and his desires. I think that is a black mark against every single one of those firms and their leadership. I think many of those firms have suffered because of that and lost talented lawyers to firms with greater character. And we've seen many law firms say, no, we won't do it, and gone to court and prevailed. So I think the cowardly way out may have been the convenient way out, but it certainly wasn't the principled way out.
And I have to say this, that my attorney, now that I'm, in it with the Justice Department, is one of those people who stood up, and I'm very proud to have him. I'm not sure if you've been paying close attention to my case, but I think you would get, there's an update. I'm going to update people tomorrow on what's happening about motions to dismiss and all of that. But am I in good hands? And what do you think of this moment where they're attacking journalists for doing their jobs?
Well, I think Abby Lowell and Joe Thompson are, two excellent attorneys, courageous in their resistance. I know Joe Thompson resigned his position at the Justice Department because of the fact that suddenly in America we have ICE and DHS murdering citizens in Minnesota and no accountability for the murderers. I think that offended him greatly in the approach that was being taken. So I'm glad that you found your way to those people, and I'm sure that they'll be able to vindicate your rights.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know if this is in your wheelhouse, but before I came to you, I was talking about the Nolan Wells case, and the kids are the teenagers who some of them have been accused of horrible things. But their media strategy is, and I guess their attorneys are there with them. Their media strategy is causing people to scrutinize, like, what are they doing? Does your attorney and the folks you do interviews with, do they have any influence on public perception, especially if it is a former Donald Trump attorney in this environment, and you have a case that is, there's some heated things about race and all of that going on?
Yeah, I think that's very tragic of what's going on there. I think, certainly when you say their strategy, it's really not the, kids' strategy. It's the strategy of the lawyers. Oftentimes you see lawyers who are more interested in seeing their name in print or on the air or at a time when it would be in their client's interest to just shut up. It's a difficult decision whether to come forward and generate press. Typically, you do that in the face of injustice. I do think to the extent that the people that are being maligned are being unfairly maligned, it's reasonable for a lawyer to speak up. But I think the amount of talking in the various places that they're doing it they're probably oversaturating it. I think we just don't know enough really about what happened, and I think until the toxicology results come out and the autopsy is final, nobody should be saying anything.
Yeah. Mr.
On the
Cobb,
on the other hand, they have been threatened, and it is important to push back on the people that are threatening them. So,
yeah, 100%. No one should be receiving threats. Remember, the kids, or the young men receive threats. I think one of their parents, as a judge, did. None of that is right. The Wells family, the mom, right? Threats.
Yes.
And yeah, and even the some of the other folks who were involved, threats, the attorneys and all of that. But my question is that, yes, they hired attorneys for that. I think those were different attorneys, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But the attorneys are now saying slander and defamation. That's a high bar. I mean, you tell me, what do you think?
It's a very high bar. On the other hand, in these circumstances where people don't know anything, people shouldn't be making accusations. So, it is highly possible that somebody has made some, untrue allegations that have demeaned and denigrated these people unfairly. We'll see that sort out. I do think, having somebody, particularly given the number of press people and other people and public officials and others that are speaking out critically of the people who were with the poor victim, having somebody write a cease and desist letter, et cetera, that's all important work legally, and it's important to push back on those statements if they are indeed unfair. But at the same time, you don't need to go on TV or give press releases every time you do it.
Yeah, Ty Cobb, man, what an honor to have you on the show. I really appreciate you coming on.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. And, keep up the fight, man. We're in it, and it's going to be slogged through the elections.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I just want to know, on a scale of 1 to maybe there's hope to, 10, we're up Schitt's Creek. Where are we now?
So your friend Mehdi, who you mentioned, asked me the same question. I think my succinct responses were screwed.
That's the lawyerly technical term. We're screwed. Thank you, Ty Cobb. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck. Thank you. You as well. And that is someone who has a backbone. That's someone you call on if you need someone, if you're at an emergency or if you're in a legal situation, someone who's not going to be afraid to stand up against power. That's what attorneys do. And that's what journalists do, in a sense, because we hold truth to power. And that's what we're supposed to do. But in this day and age, it is difficult. That is rare, few and far between, as they say. Now, as promised, I told you that we were going to listen to some of the interview. Okay, that went down, and then we're going to bring in Justin Pearson in just minutes. But this is some of the interview that I was discussing at the top of the show of these young men who sat down again with a far right-wing commentator along with their attorney. Here it is.
If you can go back to the very beginning of this, how do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found. This.
Okay, look like he got all of them up there. Okay.
Deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
Well, first off, I wish we would have never, I think about this every day. I wish we would have never went out on the 4th of July, because I know this wouldn't have happened. Nolan wouldn't be gone. And it's really hard to think about, because it's like, I wish I would have done this different, or I wish I would have done that different, because now one of my brothers passed away. But I think from the beginning, I'm glad that I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad that we came together as a group, even from the first day when people started texting us things, saying, crazy things. But I wish it wouldn't have been reported as some type of race thing. I think it's really bad that people are pushing the narrative, oh, this is a race thing. Well, obviously it's not. I mean, this is like a brother to us. I mean, Nolan's no different than anyone else in our group. And I just wish this wasn't pushed on the media as, oh, this is a bunch of white guys that killed a black guy, or this is, in the beginning it was like 4 guys went to a stranded island and dumped Nolan at the island and just left him there. Even from the beginning, it was just like this thing, and no one had facts, and they were just pushing this horrible narrative, all lies about everyone, and it's sick. So I wish that would have been completely different. I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night. We haven't heard from her son. And I'm glad that I did all of that, but I hate the way this has been.
What'd you say, Two Wheels? I thought you said something.
No, man. I'll tell you in a minute.
Kevin say a bunch of. All right, I got you. Kevin say a bunch of punks, man. Listen, man, we not gonna do that to these young men. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We'll keep it 100, man. We don't know. But this is the first time I do this interview, man. I'm gonna have to go snatch this interview and check it out a little bit more. But let's get back to Donald.
Perceived by the media and portrayed. This has been absolutely horrible with the way and the things that they've said to us and done. But other than that, there's not much I would change from my point of view and my friend's point of view. I think we did everything right, and I know we did nothing wrong.
I also want to say, I think it's so criminal that they took something so anti-racist and flipped it into something super racist. Like they took, this is the definition of anti-racism. That we did not look at Nolan any different than I looked at him, or even you. This is literally our brother. Like we stated, we did not treat him any different. We didn't treat Trayson any different. We don't treat Trayson any different. And they just flipped it. And I just think that is so wild that they're pushing this thing that they're saying, they want to end racism and all this stuff. Well, they're the one pushing it. They're pushing the racism. And I just think that's kind of crazy.
Morgan, what's your thoughts on this? How does it affect you?
White boys.
First I want to say, wish this would have never happened. I wish Nolan would still be here with us today. And, but in my opinion, I think that the media, they shouldn't have pushed the narrative from so early. I think that they should have let the local officials do their job, let them release statements, and then, the media is obviously going to see that and then do whatever they do. But that's what I trust the local officials.
Okay. Where do we start? Okay. Why did they put these young men in a position where people would have to respond to what they had to say? Because as you heard what Ty Cobb said there's nothing wrong with the attorneys getting out there, releasing a statement if they want to do cease and desist or whatever it is, but to put these young men out there who they're young and they're naive. Let's put it that. Of course they are. They're young. They're 18 years old. First of all, there's a difference. People are mostly discussing the element of race in this case. And speaking about race or the element of race is not necessarily racism or racist. There's a difference. There's nuance. Everything is not black and white. And so I'm not sure if they understand that. From what it sounds like, in my opinion, they don't understand what the difference is. And perhaps they don't. Look, this is what happens, quite honestly.
So I'll engage and I'll flatter you. So he says, so Ruben Silva says, black folks kill each other. They look up Chicago.
Wow.
I guess proper English, learn how to type first of all. But what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the point? I like to talk. You feel me? Also, listen, you guys. This is an open panel too. So, man, if you want to come on briefly, you know what I'm saying, and make a statement, to the content or interact with me, you know what I'm saying, real quick, have a little conversation. Listen, all I ask is that you be respectable and show proper decorum while you up here, and we have no issues, no problems, no worries. But and listen, I don't mind little ad hominems, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Testosterone, and again, I understand the differences of opinion and how people think and thought process. But just keep it respectable, no name calling, speak your point, and that's it. Other than that, because I will drop your ass, because we don't want to go through all that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, hit that super chat too, man. Somebody tear that super chat up, man. I think it's broke. Let me see if it worked, y'all. Hit that super chat. Let's get back to Don.
when you live in privilege and you don't understand. Because with that, for me, I know that the people I know.
That's true, Miss Algorithms. So I spoke on that too, because I said I wonder, you know what I'm saying, the type of conversations that, you know, he has at home with his husband. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to situations like this, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was a man or woman. Go ahead.
What does that have to do with what are you talking about?
Because because he married to a white man. Because again, you know, the point, because people want to try to turn it into something that it's not. So people, you know, saying they say these things and they think these things. Even if this race wasn't an issue or case, you know, even me, when I said I wonder how these conversations. So it has a lot to do with it, because you feel me, as a partner, you know, you guys make decisions. So you know, your decision can be swayed upon your relationship with your partner. You feel me, when you're talking about certain injustices that's even done to your people. A lot of people can get, you know, saying converted or conned or tricked or whatever. You know, I'm not saying that that's Don Lemon case, but you feel me. I'm just trying to get you to understand where people come from when they might come out or they might say things like this. And I'm not saying that the brother or the sister is saying that, but again, you know, you know how I am, man. I try to understand and see both sides and all variables in the situation. You feel?
Yeah, I see. I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
wondering.
Miss Mika, what's going on? Good evening, Goddess. She says people crime where they live. So it's just as much white on white, Asian on Asian, and Mexican on Mexican. And Miss Mika is absolutely correct, because I spoke on that again. And like I told you guys, we are considered the minority here in this country. So the only narrative or the only thing that you hear in the media is the minority. But again, that's why I say people, I don't give a fuck about what you think or how you think about my people, right? But there's no way logically that a person can think, if you're the minority, that you create all the fucking crime in the world when the majority are not you. You feel me? The majority of the crimes that are committed in the world are not done by you, because you are the minority. There's no way in hell possibly numbers or math could even begin to make that make sense. But you know, due to the fact that we're not the people of interest that's controlling the media and that's pushing the narratives and things of that nature, you feel me? Of course, they're only going to push the bad and you know what I'm saying, and atrocities that we do to each other. And I'm not disputing the fact that we don't do fucked up. Yes, we do. That don't make it wrong or right neither. So I get tired of, you know, when people throw that way, you know, black folks kill black. Yeah. So the fuck what? I'm not saying that that's not a problem. That is an issue too with inside our community. It's something that we have to deal with. Most definitely it is. You feel me? And I'm never not saying that. So I wish people would stop saying that, because people don't think like that, bro. Yeah, we know this shit happens. You feel me? You know, and again, why care when we're the minority and you're the majority? You know, let us fix us. But we can't, because we got so much shit, you know what I'm saying, in the way of trying to deprogram and debug and get our mindset back to where we needed to be. But let's carry on and get back to Don.
Would have said
appreciate all the comments as well.
To
all the comments in the chat.
I love Don like a brother, and we didn't treat him any differently. But of course, we're aware. We are keenly aware.
What's not true?
What's not true? Black friend of the injustices that happen to black people and black men. We talked about that always. That was
so berserk. Can you hit that link and come up here and present some facts to me? I'll be more than welcome to let you speak your opinion if you got some facts, brother. Show
One of the reasons that I love Don, because he held us to account on those issues, and he helped us to understand. So our loss is even greater, because not only did we have a friend, we had someone who could educate us and teach us things that we may not necessarily have gotten in our.
So again, algorithms, you know what I'm saying? As you speak that per capita, and a lot of people don't understand where per capita is. And when you say words like that, and a lot of times, you know, people get it mixed up and confused, right? So we're going to do this, but I most definitely understand what per capita means. You feel me? And I have a response to that as well. But for the sake of this conversation, before we get back to Don Lemon, let's look up per capita. You know what I'm saying, for the people, because you know we like to look up and do things like that and get a better understanding. Sir, so per capita is a Latin phrase that means by head or for each head. People use it to mean per person. You divide the total amount by the number of people in a group to find the per capita number. Economics and statistics. Income shows average earnings in each person's in a city or county. Output measures gross domestic product, GDP, divided into the total population. Limits and numbers. Averages hides the truth. It assumes wealth or items split evenly, which is not true. Includes non-workers, counts children as older adults. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. See. So basically per unit of population or by each or per person. So now meaning in a certain area, so you have to calculate how many of us is in a certain area. So this is what he's trying to make state claims to. And that's still not true because we are outnumbered. That still doesn't make sense. The per capita shit still don't make sense. You feel me? No logical mathematician will come here and tell me and get up on this platform, and I have one. And he's not a black, but see, but then if I bring up a, you know what I'm saying, a white mathematician, they're going to say, oh, well, you know, whatever. But I got black ones too, man. And we could bring them up here, man. This mathematically, no, bro. No. He said when people bitch about a Bob crime, remind them that the number one murders of white people are white people. Hey, drunken. Hey, man, listen, but when they say per capita, I like for people to understand what per capita is, because a lot of us don't know. You feel me? 70% of all child molestations are white men. See, and also as far as the welfare stat, a lot more. See, but I'm not trying to get into particulars. You know what I'm saying? And so he said it basically being per $100,000 you compare white or black, black on black, white on white. Man, how and y'all outnumber us, but again, those are your stats. I understand that. Hey, power to the right.
Hey, Biddy, he don't. No, man, I ain't gonna say it.
Let's get back to Don, man. I love the chat. What's going on? Make sure y'all hit that like.
Just as I said with the Emmanuel guy and maybe some of the folks who are advising these kids, sometimes you're too close to the forest. You can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes you need people to come and hold up a mirror so that you can see, because I understand that you got along and you felt you got along in where you live. Okay, I'm not discounting that. But you can't discount the whole history of Mississippi and the South and the United States and the present as well. Look at the moment that we're living in. Look at what is happening with issues that are important to Black people specifically. I was going to say people of color, but to Black people specifically. Look at what's happening with the banning of books and all of that. Look at what happened. Look at where we live right now. Look at what's happening surrounding the elections and diminishing Black voting rights and Black political power in this country. Those are all real.
What's going on, Official Swagger? So Official Swagger said per capita is always they go to. It still don't change the fact that more of them do more crime and heinous acts. That's facts. Algorithm says, I appreciate your interaction with the chat. I'm going to throw you a like out of respect. And I appreciate algorithm. Throw me a like, throw me a share. Also, hit the sub button, man. Sub up to the channel, man.
Again,
we don't always do this type of content. It's just what we on right now. We might agree on some things, I mean, as well as disagree, but you just never know, man. You know what I'm saying? Give us a try. We here in the conversation.
I'm just saying, beat it fast or not. He don't care about that. You just be quiet.
Hey, man, I don't know what you saying, man. And I know you my pal is good, but you rude, man. While I'm talking, brother, let me finish and then go ahead and get it out. And then how you gonna say I don't care about that, man? Don't be like that too. Listen, this is the community, family, peace sector, man.
My bad.
All words are warranted and important over here, man. If you got a voice, if you in my chat, bro, I'm not gonna stop you from saying anything in my chat unless it's too provocative, and the rest of the chat that don't agree. You feel me? The more you come, the more you embrace. You know what I'm saying? And the more we embrace you, the more you embrace us. We become family. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, interaction and engagement. You feel me? Like little small minor things like this, bro. I don't let that, you feel me, impede my evolution process of growing and networking and evolve and understand people and us as a people. You feel me? Now, I get it. We're not gonna always agree on everything, but you feel me? You know what I'm saying? We found room to work in, you know what I'm saying, what we can work in. You feel me? That's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, you good. Let's get back to good old Don Lemon.
Things. And doing an interview with a far right-wing commentator who is...
Now, I ain't calling Tatum all that.
By many people's assessment, is a man of color, but his commentary is very anti-black, according to the zeitgeist. And if you listen and watch what he says, when he talks on his thing about...
Also, I don't know if you guys listen to the zeitgeist. I enjoy the zeitgeist. It used to be a podcast that I used to listen to, man. A lot of good, valuable information, man, if you know how to analyze and discern and take it in, you know, and internalize and use it the right way. Zeitgeist, it was a good podcast, but let's get back to Don Lemon.
You melanated people and, you know, just all kinds of just bizarre things. And they can't understand that. If they wanted to really make a difference and they wanted to change public opinion for them, and I don't know, I'm not sure if it's their choice or their attorney's choice. I would imagine the first time it was either their choice or their parents' choice, and then they lawyered up, and now it's the lawyer's choice. But I'm meaning the adults. I don't believe that they're serving these young men well. Because the more they try to defend them or put them out there to defend themselves, it's not that they're incriminating themselves because they don't have anything to incriminate, but they are digging into the public perception about the things that I have just discussed, about Mississippi, about ideology, about any of those things. And then there is an attorney. I don't know if it's strategically or just, well, it has to be because they picked their attorney. Because I was going to say, but I don't know if they chose them strategically, but I don't think it's a secret that one of the attorneys that's out there reportedly is an ex or a former Donald Trump attorney who has represented him in legal cases. I think CBS, I think it was a Wall Street Journal, but it was a CBS and others in other cases. That doesn't bode well for the court of public opinion, except for in your own particular demographic and political realm. That may play with some of those. They may play well in that stratus, with that demographic. But for the larger world, this is not a good look. And not saying you're guilty or innocent, no one is saying that at all. We're talking about the strategy now. As I said in the opening monologue, this is not just happening to you. This is strategic. And it is painfully transparent, the strategy here. And guess what? At the end of the day, though, having said all of that, maybe the only people who need to be convinced are the people who are closest to them, or in their own public opinion, the people that in their circle or circles. Maybe that's the only folks that they're trying to convince because that's the only people who matter to them. I don't know. As someone who's been doing this for a long time, I can see it coming. As I said to Ty Cobb, I could see Donald Trump from a mile away. And having lived in New York, I've seen him. People thought he was a clown here in New York, just a character that appears on page 6 and in the tabloids, in the gossip rags, who had a bunch of wives and cheated all the time and couldn't handle his business. who couldn't handle his own business. So I don't know. So to see that, it reminds me of Trump.
Well, if he don't
And the
get
whole
them
situation
puppies
around him, and how
fired,
people buy into it and buy into the whole thing that he was some great businessman simply because of media strategy. And maybe they think that's going to work. That kind of thing is going to work here. So maybe the only people that they need to convince are the people who are in their circle. I don't know. Anyways, I want to continue on. We're going to bring in our Washington, D.C. correspondent to discuss some of the issues that we have today, to discuss some of the strategy around this and also other things that's happening in Washington, but not really, I should say, in politics. Daniel, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, they're done.
Hey, so we have seen today, we have the new interview, right? And I just don't think that this is serving them well. And it's not like I'm not looking out for them. I'm not looking out for them.
after this too, y'all. So before last thing I'm for the night that we gonna do after you know what I'm saying, Don, let me finish. We gonna get into the exclusive part 1 interview of Officer Tatum and the rest of them boys, and then we'll have a little commentary, and then I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of y'all night.
Analyzing this as someone who has been doing this since the 1990s. And yeah, this doesn't help.
Hey there, Don, and hello to the Lemon Nation. I mean, when I saw that they were sitting down for another round of interviews with the same figure that they conducted the first round of interviews with, I just thought, as you've said throughout the show, who is working with them? Because again, I understand if you are out there saying, listen, I want to make the case that I'm innocent, my name's being, driven to the mud, people are saying I'm guilty, so I want to clarify that I'm innocent. But if you didn't feel like that message was properly delivered the first time through the medium that you chose, why do you think it's going to be delivered the right time through the same medium, right? Don't they say craziness if you're doing the same thing multiple times and expecting a different result? So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to advise them to talk or not talk, but I just don't get why they're choosing the same interviewer.
Yeah, but also, this is the thing that I just alluded to a little bit this morning. I talked a little bit with it. We had a crisis PR person. It seems that they are trying to blame others for their own mistakes. And he asks them in the questioning, right? In the initial questioning, what if you could have handled this? So it is Andy, can you put it back up? I want everybody to listen to this question. Okay. First of all, it's like, I'm not just saying this because it's Tater. But if it was anybody asking this question, I'd be saying the same thing. What I used to do and what my producers used to do to me in my ear when I was in legacy media, they would say, get to the question, ask the question. But there's also the question, the way someone says it or asks the question tells you everything. From this initial question, it is obvious that this is damage control, right? Or, reputation setting or resetting or whatever it is. Not about innocence or guilt, I'm talking about public opinion. It is obvious that this is someone said, we need to get it out. We trust you or something like that, in my opinion, right? Or maybe he innately understands that what his job is, what his mission is. Listen to the question because it says the question answers everything. Go ahead.
If you can go back to the very beginning of this, how do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the...
Let me say this real quick too. So Warren went there first. So Warren was the only one that didn't take that stress level tester, right? So Warren felt comfortable, and then by Officer Tatum, presenting that type of environment for him. Of course, they're going to go back. They're going to go back to where Warren was comfortable, and he, you know what I'm saying. So so we gotta stop that too, and be mindful that of course that's where they're gonna go. You go anywhere else, you feel me, with what's been going on in the media, you know how they're gonna get treated versus being here where they're not gonna get treated as such.
Initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
Well,
okay.
First off,
thank you, Andy.
What are you? I'm nervous.
Look, a very simple question would be, thank you for doing this interview. Do you think you've been treated fairly in the media? Boom. Yes. Why not? Do you think you made any mistakes? You don't. Okay, then is there anything you would have done differently? What would you have done differently? That's what I'm like, this rambling, this, I just don't know you. I've been knowing, and then it's like, if I were in a courtroom, I would stand up and I would go, objection. And they'd say, leading the witness. Objection sustained. Can you get to the question, Tater? That's all I'm saying. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, but go ahead, Daniel.
I also want to say, listen, as you said earlier, we already know Warren Hudson, one of the key figures. I'm interested as to why they decided to do this joint interview with these three other people who really haven't heard from before, right? We've heard from
I've never heard of them.
And
I couldn't even remember Warren Hudson's name. I'm like, because I don't really, like, the names are just not whatever. As I'm covering this, I'm not really focusing on them. I'm focusing more on what happened to Nolan. But go on.
Again, we've heard from, he is the one in with that kind of American flag whale, or I'm not sure what that figure is, but that's Warren. But we haven't heard from these other three. So I'm not sure, just from an interview perspective, as to why, if I was doing this again, and I've already done a one-on-one with Hudson, I would want to hear from the other three who we haven't heard from. And also, where's Tristan?
So I agree with you, Miss Sarah. You know what I'm saying? But I get what Don is saying too. Like, you feel me? You stand with the safe questions. So let's really ask them some questions. But again, if we got to be mindful that the reason that they're on that platform, because they know these type of questions are not going to get asked. So we got to understand that
strategy. So at this point, I think that we can stop pretending that.
Oh shit.
There in the beginning, we were the only people covering it, and others. I don't know. I just have to check my thing. I don't know if Tater was covering it. I don't know who else. But from the day after it happened, when his body was identified on the beach by the mother, it was on this very program that was happening in real time, that we were interviewing a rescue person, a person who's part of the rescue team, who was giving us this information in real time as it was happening. And so at first the media did not cover it. And then all of a sudden they realized that people are interested in this story. A couple days later, some weeks later. But by the time they got to it, all of the online people and the people who were discussing it on, on these shows and others were saying, why did the white guys come back alive and the black guy didn't? Because the only picture that they had seen, that any of us had seen, was that picture of them on the boat. And so it wasn't the media like coming in, at least the mainstream media, and saying, oh my God, this is racist. No one said that. They were like, wait a minute, what's going on? And we said, well, yes. People who are following us and watching us are wondering, why did the black guy die and the white guys didn't? And that's when the questions started coming in about race. And then they got the attorney, and the attorney said, hey.
Well, I never asked that. I think that's fucked to even say some shit like that.
Look, we know the history of Mississippi. And how can you exclude that? Imagine if it was all black guys there and one white guy, and the white guy didn't come home. Now, be honest, Daniel, what do you think would have happened?
We know what would have happened. We know there'd be a lot of coverage. I believe the officials would be updating us a lot more than we're being updated currently. And so the other question I have here, the other kind of comment I have, is just, we've also seen attacks on Nolan's mom. Right, Christine has been the attacks, has been the recipient of a lot of attacks, and just that's also something we have to criticize it, because why is this grieving mother being criticized for just asking what happened to my son? Any parent would want to know, if your child goes on a July 4th holiday weekend with his friends to an island and does not come home alive, what happened? And that's all she wants to know. And that's all anybody wants to know. It sounds like that's what those gentlemen want to know. That's what they have been saying. That's what they said again. It's just so frustrating. As someone who has said, I'm waiting for the investigation to unfold. I want information. As you all know, I've been trying to reach out to every single person involved. A lot of the people on the screen right there, other folks, and I'm being stonewalled. And that's frustrating from a perspective as someone who just wants answers. It's like, what is the seemingly thing that's being covered up? But I'm not saying there's a cover up, but it just grows frustrating as a journalist, as you know, Don, when you are calling, and you're getting no answers. We're not even being answered at this point. They're just sending us the voicemail. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. People want answers.
Well, of course they want answers. And look, the thing is, that I don't understand, or some of the people like Emmanuel, whatever, when they're criticizing, I understand it, but they're criticizing Crump and the representatives and Sharpton. Okay. We said, why did they have Al Sharpton there? Because they wanted to. Why did the family have Al Sharpton there? Because they wanted to. That's not your decision. That's their decision. And why is Ben Crump coming in and saying, this is race, or this is about race, or whatever? Okay, they hired an attorney, and the attorney is doing what he can do to defend his client.
Yes.
Just like the boys' attorneys are doing what they do to defend their clients. Now, here's the thing. None of it is above scrutiny or criticism. He has every right to do that. But then, right, if everything is fair play here, then the folks who are wondering what happened to Nolan Wells and who actually understand racism, understand why this case has gotten the scrutiny that it's gotten, not saying that the kids are guilty or innocent. Well, that same scrutiny and criticism can be applied to the attorneys that they hired and the strategy that they're doing. Everything it deserves, what is it, a fair turn? I mean, I'm just saying that's the reality of it.
And you said it so well this morning and again tonight, Don, that if you are just calling for, hey, I just want to be left alone, okay? If that is truly what you are calling for, then you wouldn't be going on any interviews with anybody, right? Like if you're truly saying, take me out of the equation, I can't believe my name's being associated with this case, why are you talking to anybody? Then all the speculation, I just think of it because they're choosing to, again, as you have said, align themselves with certain characters, hiring a attorney who has an affiliation with this current president, who, by the way, fell asleep again today. I know, I don't think we've showed that video yet, but hilarious.
Donald Trump?
Yeah, yes, he did. Fell asleep again today. Listening to RFK Jr. of all people. How do you fall asleep listening to RFK Jr.? I mean, honestly.
Oh, gosh.
That's a
skip. Roll it. Let's see it. Let's watch it. Roll it.
Actually, genetic predisposition, but that cannot possibly explain why you've seen such a large rise. There must be some other environmental factors involved. And that's the basis for thinking that's driving these dozen and more.
And that's just one of the clips. The other one on our Substack is when RFK is actively talking and he's doing the just struggling to stay awake. So,
well, when are they going to write the book about that? When are they going to write the book about that? About is Donald Trump competent or capable or physically capable or mentally capable enough to be able to serve? When are they going to talk about that?
Let me just make sure I get this right. Capital One announced, I believe it was over the weekend, that they had to close Donald Trump and the Trump Organization accounts in 2021 due to anti-money laundering compliance reviews. That thing went barely noticed, that the president's accounts had to be closed by Capital One due to potential money laundering. Don, there's going to be a lot to write about this administration when it's finally over. So, I mean, the falling asleep in the Oval Office is just sadly, the comical part of this, all of the corruption, the chaos, the craziness. But back to the other point. Or do you want to talk about Trump a little more? Because, love going in on him. But back to the other point. You're hiring an attorney that has an affiliation with Trump. And you're going back on this far right podcast again, doubling down after I'm sure they've seen their criticism that they chose to go to him the first time. So that is just raising a lot of eyebrows in this case. Circling back to the point I was making.
Okay. So what do we have? Anything tomorrow? Lawmakers are not there, but still things are happening.
Yes.
Right?
Lawmakers are out of town, but I've been in discussions. I don't want to say too much, but today I had a couple of meetings with an exciting project that hopefully gets off the ground for next week. So I'll give you the folks a little bit of a tease on that one. So hopefully they'll see more information on that soon. And they should also have the guest that was supposed to be here tonight, Representative Pearson. There's a little bit of a mix-up with the timing, but we may have him tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that whole Central Eastern thing is always a problem. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. All right. So anyways, guys, now you're informed. So here's what I want to tell you guys. If you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, go to donlemon.com, donlemon.com. And once you're there, click on the thing right there. It says DL and DL, DL plus DL.com. And you go there and you can get your tickets to our show starting September 11th, 2026. Oh, by the way, I have to...
Don Lemon. Again, y'all, I really ain't no big fan of Don Lemon. You feel me? I like the way he narrate and commentate and commentate at times. You feel me? He gives, you know what I'm saying, a well articulated perspective. But at times though, it's like, what the hell are you saying, Don? You feel me? Like, so I get a lot of people's, you know what I'm saying, perspective and understanding on Don Lemon. And also, like I say, excuse me, I'm not really a big Don Lemon fan. Neither am I a big Nancy Grace fan. So again, like I say, man, I am really shocked that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the information that we're getting and that's coming out, you know what I'm saying, from her is like, man, you know, she really on point. So I'm rocking with Nancy at this point. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But this Tatum guy, man, I mean, I get it. I understand the perspective he coming from, man, and the way he trying to paint these young men. But this shit crazy, man. But let's dive into this interview, man, that took place with him and the other boys, well, with the rest of the boys, because you know he interviewed Warren, and I believe he interviewed Tristan. So this is the interview with, well, part of the interview with the other boys.
You're living a regular life, young guys being in college, you know, having a typical experience, then you lose your friend.
I think like ever since it happened, my life just like hit like a hole.
Like even going out, you know, we're always paranoid. Somebody's.
Well, Red Mario, you know, you hear me, you know, and you know, and sometimes, you know, you can't help who you fall in love with, I guess. You know what I'm saying? That's a saying. You feel me? That's a thing. So, you know, we're gonna leave it as that.
See us get spotted, try to beat us up potentially, or even worse.
You just met these young men more recently. And are you confident that these young men had nothing to do with it?
Coach up there with them too.
We have Ed Paulsick, Warren, Jax, and then we have Morgan here. And so I talked to Warren last time I was here. We had a really deep conversation, and I'm glad that we were able to get other perspectives now that we have Ed here. Ed is a
man, that bland ass interview, that man,
information attorney. And I want to start with you, Ed. You know, why did you choose to work with the boys? What is your plans? What do you expect to get out of working with them? What's your expectations when it comes to defamation?
Well, I think an injustice in one place is an injustice everywhere. I hate lying. I care about.
Oh wow, we're gonna listen to the coach, but T. Anders, I think Nancy's still straight shooting right now. I still think she's straight shooting right now. You feel me? But let's listen to this coach.
About the truth, but most of all, it's the actual people who are involved here. So first of all, I just want to say Tyler Cox really welcomed me here. My co-counsel, he's an incredible human being and he's an incredible attorney. And then after that, I had an opportunity to meet these incredible young men. And I just got to say, these guys are unbelievable. Warren, Jackson, Morgan.
Wow, they're unbelievable, incredible young men. Hey, get out, coach.
They're just beautiful people. They're really decent human beings. They're just great people. And, you know, that's why I'm here, because I want to help great people. And this is a very sad situation, but it's also a very human situation. And it's a tragedy.
So you guys have, you know, obviously before this happened, I would assume you're living a regular life, young guys being in college, you know, having a typical experience, then you lose your friend, Nolan. And after that, what has life been like for you guys?
I think like ever since it happened, my life just like hit like a hole, like it just stopped. And I mean, we just got to live day by day from now on.
I could say definitely a whole flip upside down for our lives. It's like even going out, you know, we're always paranoid somebody's gonna see us, get spotted, try to beat us up potentially, or even worse. We're really just trying to stay low key and not go out as much or anything like that. Yeah.
It's been hard because my friends and I are people. I mean, we like to be out and hang out outside of our friend group, you know, and not being able to like go certain places or
walk around in public because our head's always on a swivel. It's really affected all of us. I mean, especially in like my family's standpoint, my safety comes first. My friends and family safety comes first too. And it's been really hard because I'm worried about like my family as well with me, and it's hard, but we're just going day by day and just trying to get through every day.
Can you give me some examples of what has happened? Have you guys had things happen online, threats online? Have you guys have any examples of people accosting you or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we have had countless death threats online. Been spotted. I'll let you elaborate more on that. Being spotted. I mean, people have obviously just pointed us out. I mean, as a group and even on a one-on-one setting, I think it's really just like awkward because I don't want to talk about this, and I know my friends don't want to talk about this any more than we need to. We're still mourning one of our best friends' death, and it's hard to speak about it when like sometimes we just need some alone time, or sometimes we just need to lay back and not be around all this. And I mean, I've been called out in public, and I haven't been in public that much. I know my friends have had encounters in public.
I'm tired of hearing Warren speak. I wish he would let one of these other motherfuckers speak.
The threats have been insane from my stepmom and my dad, my mom, everyone, included like even my brothers and my sisters. And it's just hard. I mean, it's unbelievable where like this has been taken to and the level where this is at.
When you say you've been called out in public, can you give me an example of like, what do you mean? People are threatening you with weapons? People are, not allowing you, deny you service? Because I heard that Trayston, he went to a corner store and they told him
Man, first of all, man, this is some bullshit, bro. I done read that the population of Ocean Springs, bro, it's like 1,300, and it said, and approximately, it said between 1,350 to 1,480 motherfucking melanated people that stay in fucking Ocean Springs out of 18,766 people. So the majority of the people in Ocean Springs is motherfucking Caucasians, bro. Who the fuck are threatening you? Y'all are not in the communities. Stop playing. Stop fucking playing. Yeah, Ocean Springs take care of Ocean Springs, remember? So now motherfuckers in y'all community threaten y'all. Now we ain't talking about the live shit and people. And 9 times out there, ain't nobody flying out there, man. Ain't no motherfucker coming out. Come on, y'all stop this shit, man. You gotta stop this, man.
His money is not good there. They wouldn't even let him buy Gatorade.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing things like that or something totally different?
Right. I wouldn't say like that. I think I haven't been denied, anything, but like Trayston, it's hard to hear from a good friend of mine that he's getting denied a Gatorade and a Red Bull before work and having to, like, he calls me, he's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. He got called out at Walmart. Someone called him out at Walmart and was like asking him all these questions and trying to press him about it. And it's crazy to me. Like, we live in a very tight knit community, and for people to, push back and say these things when they know what Ocean Springs is like, it's really hard. And I mean, I haven't had many personal encounters, but I know being around the guys and stuff like that, they have. So,
and Ed, as an attorney that's representing these boys, I mean, what does that make you feel like? Do you feel like you got a good case here, or what's your perspective in that? Because people are online, and obviously they know who you are. Obviously, they know you represented Donald Trump in some pretty high-profile cases. And so now that you've joined, or at least now you work for the young men here, you hear them say things like they've been accosted, they've been, threatened online. Does that make your case a greater case, or how do you work within what's happening to these young men?
Well, unfortunately, I wish there was no case. I wish this hadn't happened. But unfortunately, because these things did happen, there is a case, and now there's multiple cases. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're out there and you lied about these guys, you lied about my guys, you lied about Tyler's guys here, if you lied about Morgan, if you lied about Jax, if you lied about Warren, we're going to get you. And you're going to be hauled into court, you're going to be held accountable, and it's going to be very painful. And what I would say to the people who have done that is, now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave. You won't be able to get out of it. And we're not going to name names because there's some other folks who are doing that, and we want to be better than that. And I want to emphasize this, right? We're not here to guess We're not here to speculate. We're only going to deal in facts, right? And here's the most important thing, right? We don't know how Nolan Wells died. No one here is saying we know. But what we do know is Morgan, Jax, and Warren had nothing whatsoever to do with Nolan Wells' death. And that's what's important. And unfortunately, because there are people who want to divide a town and come in from the outside and tell people what to think and pit neighbor against neighbor, it compounds the tragedy. It magnifies the tragedy. And I just want to say this. Here's why it's an even bigger tragedy. Because my friends here, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, these guys are not just the finest that Ocean Springs has to offer, finest that Mississippi has to offer. These are the finest young men that America has to offer. You know, really great people. And Tyler actually taught me good Ocean Springs people. That was one of the first things I heard when I got here. So I'll just say that they're good Ocean Springs people.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're enjoying this incredible interview. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and also join our membership program. Let's get back to the interview. And how confident are you? Because you just met these young men more recently. And are you confident that these young men had nothing to do with it?
Confidence not a strong enough word. In fact, beyond a reasonable doubt is not strong enough. There's a 0% chance that they did anything wrong. So this is not 90%. It's not 99%. It's not 99.9999. There's no decimals. There's no anything. It's 100%. 100.000%. Nothing. They did nothing wrong. And that's the problem for our opponents here, who have ruined their lives, dragged them through the mud, and attacked them. You don't get to lie. We have a First Amendment. We love our First Amendment, but you don't get to lie and hurt people. You want to lie and it doesn't hurt people? Fine. You lie and you hurt people. That's why we have defamation. And that's what this is about. So I just want to emphasize this in the strongest possible terms. Zero wrongdoing. Completely innocent. Totally innocent. And categorically innocent.
And you guys have had experiences with either people threatening you online. I know that, Warren, we talked about this before, and we talked a little, or at least spoke a little bit about when you go out, you guys are getting accosted by people. Can you give us an example of, or at least tell the audience an example of an incident where you guys may have been?
Hey man, these people are fucking crazy, man. These people.
Man, I can't take this shit serious.
I mean, I gotta take it because, you know what I'm saying, we gotta get the content to the people. So let's bear with it, man. Let's bear with it. But this shit is sickening, man.
Accosted, or what does that look like when you go out? People threaten you with weapons, or people trying to physically harm you, or people having to be restrained? What kind of engagement is happening when you guys go out?
We went to a restaurant, a couple of buddies of mine, and when we were, I wouldn't say.
So North Country Pursuits, I don't think that's the hope. Let's not say it's gonna go that way. I don't think it's gonna go that way. So we can discuss it. We don't have to go, you know what I'm saying, perpetuate and start riots or anything like that, man. There's no need for that. Because outside of that, I mean, like that's not going to bring them back, and that's not going to stop anything. Karma, what's going on? Me. What the hell is? He said, what in the hell about Nolan, his family being threatened and false negative reviews against Nolan's mom. Like, it also, yeah, so, you know, man, they trying to, you know, this woman, she's a nurse, man, and they trying to make her lose her job. You should see all the things that's going on and that's being reported about how she's treating people. And also, it's been statements that's came out and said that his mom was being racist. Like, this shit is just, it's just crazy. He said if it's proven they murdered Nolan, there's going to be riots. If it's proven they didn't murder Nolan, there's still going to be. I doubt it, North. I don't think so. Daryl Lewis, what's going on, my boy? I was a raccoon. Let's get back to
threatening with weapons or anything, but I felt, and I know my friends felt, threat for our lives. I mean, I don't think there was like a fear factor, but at the same time, like it's awkward in public. Like I stated, like when we have to talk about these things, but we went to a restaurant and someone came up to me and was like, "Is this you?" And I was kind of like shaken up about it. Well, at first she asked like my name and, you know, like all these questions. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know, she's coming up to talk. Well, then she came up to me again and showed me our first interview and was like, "Are you sure this isn't you?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's me, like, obviously." And she kind of just, I looked at my buddy and I was like, "Yeah, we're leaving, like, close it, like, close everything out like we're going. And I left, and there was an altercation after I left with some of my buddies that weren't involved in this at all. And they told my friends that they were going to kill them and they wanted to fight and all this like crazy stuff. I mean, I wasn't there, but my friends told me this, that what the people were.
Again, that's hearsay. It's hearsay. His friends told him, and again, they could be pushing this fucking narrative to try to keep. What up?
Bitty, don't that nigga Tatum like Officer 10 Penny? You remind me of Officer 10 Penny.
I don't know who that is. Who was that?
Oh no, never mind. That's a game. That's a game.
Oh no, yeah, I don't know nothing about that, but
No, yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's obviously they pushing that narrative about them getting threats to, you know what I'm saying, to keep some of the shit up off of them. And you know what I'm saying. And again, man, you know they getting coached real good. You feel me? If they getting coached, man, but I don't believe a word of none of this shit that's coming about their mouth. Miss Debbie, what's going on? She says you black people are the most racist of all time, and you all know it. That's right, Miss Debbie Duran. Speak your piece. Hit that like button. Share me out, Miss Debbie. Share me out.
Saying to them was like totally just crazy. Like, I mean, there was people like that were, you know, outside of this telling us like, hey, you need to leave before something happens because I know what could go down right now. And like, I know that these people are crazy. So, I mean, we all felt, we were kind of shaken up about that. It was weird because it was our first encounter as a group. And I think it's also like just crazy that people will like look at you in the eye and tell you they'll kill you because they believe you killed your best friend and you have nothing to do with it.
And Morgan and Jax, were you guys there?
Yes, we were there.
I was there.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were going to kill him and stuff, but I did hear whenever she came up to him originally, she was like, hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar. And he was like,
man, the chick, they probably wanted a fucking autograph. Who knows, man? They turned this shit into, they gotta stop.
No, I don't have TikTok or anything like that. And she was like, oh, okay. And then walked off and then came back with, like you said, the first interview on her phone and showing him. She's like, so this isn't you. Either you have a doppelganger or this is you.
Nolan wasn't a grown-ass man, Miss Debbie Duran. He wasn't a grown-ass man. He was the same age as these young men right here. You feel me? And I don't think that it was a point of him staying back. You feel me? Because he thought he was going to get lucky because the young lady said no, he left. So if he thought he was going to get lucky, Miss Debbie, he wouldn't have worried about trying to go back with them. He'd have stuck around on that island until she left and then probably tried to hitch a ride with somebody else. That's what I would have done if I was in that situation, if I thought I was going to get lucky. So no, Miss Debbie, stop it. Crump is going to get his ass sued big time. Stop it, Miss Debbie. But I appreciate you, Miss Debbie. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Jesse Landry, Officer Tatum is doing the Lord's work. 18 years grown.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 18 is grown. Yeah. In what state is 18 legally grown? Stop it. Stop it. Hit that like button, dog. I appreciate you.
And he was like, well, yeah, that's me. And then we got the check and we bounced and we were waiting outside for everybody else to get out of there. And while we're waiting outside is whenever some of our other buddies that aren't even on social media that we were just there with was getting told that other people are going to kill them and all that kind of stuff.
So how did that make you guys feel did you think they were serious? Did you think it was just people trying to make a name for themselves by confronting you in front of others? Like, what was your take on that, Morgan?
I think it was just like, I was in the general area of where one of our buddies was, where this altercation happened. And I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved. And he told me straight up, he was like, if I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt. Y'all need to leave right now. I'm just watching out for y'all and making sure y'all are safe. And I mean, I wouldn't say that those people would have physically done something in that moment, but I think they were playing like almost like a mental game, like just to get into your head and just almost like make yourself like just think these things that obviously are not true.
If you can go back to the very beginning of this, how do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased.
So, and for you, Ms. Debbie, 18 for women is considered legally grown, but for men, it's 21. It's the age of 21. And it also, again, it depends on by states, because some states allow you to buy tobacco until you're 21, but most states don't allow you to buy tobacco until you're 21. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some states allow you to buy tobacco at 18, and some states, you know what I'm saying, don't allow you to buy until you're 21. So, again, you feel me? And socially and mentally, you feel me, calling an 18-year-old an adult, when primarily, you know what I'm saying, that's still the time that he's still in the house and making the transition to go to college or to leave the house, that's not an adult. And if you think so, Ms. Debbie, I question your mental stability.
18 is 18.
How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
On two wheels, you got to be quick on the draw. What was you going to say?
My bad. I'm delayed. My bad.
Go ahead. Say what you going to say. You just got to be quick on the draw. Say what you going to say.
I said 18 is hardly grown, man.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Let's see. According to the violent incidents by offender rates between years of 2017 20, white people attack people compared to you're racist. You racists are so cringe, getting your own people locked up over your racist rhetoric. This is ridiculous, man. Listen to these comments, man. I love the comments. Observe the body language
Dude.
and pay attention. Joe Blow, what's going on, Joe Blow? How you feeling tonight? How you feeling tonight? Yeah, that's a lie. He said, yeah, that's a lie.
These comments crazy.
Yeah, I love the comment. He said, that's not true. Every state, you're a legal age and adult. That's not true, man. That's not true, brother. I just read it. I looked it up and I can read it again. You feel me? If you're a young lady, 18 is the legal age. And if you're a young man, 21. And again, it goes by state, certain states. It even said that you can buy tobacco at the age of 18 in certain states. But guess what? Here where I am, you can't buy tobacco until you're 21. So 18 doesn't legally, officially claim you to be grown. You can't even buy alcohol at 18. So no, you're not grown.
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today. And I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. Like I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything. But other than that, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess. I wish that would have never happened either. And I don't think if those would have never happened, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out of proportion. And the fact that it was our best friend and it's not what people are saying it is what hurts the most. I mean, that was our brother. I mean, straight up. That's what I told his dad the night that he came over to my house. He was like, blah, blah, saying something. I was like, dude, that was my brother. Like, and you know that. He knows that. We were picking him up every single day. He never drove. I can't tell you how many times I pulled up in his driveway and picked him up. And it wasn't him asking. It was just because that's what we did. We just picked up Nolan all the time. That's how we, came about to all the stuff that we were going to. We'd go and pick him up. That's how much we like to be around him. We would do stuff like that all the time,
Well, first off, like, I wish we would have never, like, I think about this every day. Like, I wish we would have never went out on the 4th of July because I know this wouldn't have happened. Nolan wouldn't be gone. And like, it's really hard to think about because it's like, I wish I would have done this different or I wish I would have done that different because now one of my brothers wouldn't have like passed away. But I think from the beginning, I'm glad that I called the Coast Guard and I'm glad that we came together as a group, even from the first day when people started texting us things, saying, crazy things. But I wish it wouldn't have been reported as some type of race thing. I think it's really bad that like people are pushing the narrative, oh, this is a race thing. Well, obviously it's not. I mean, this is like a brother to us. I mean, no one's no different than anyone else in our group. And I just wish this wasn't pushed on the media as, oh, this is a bunch of white guys that killed a black guy, or this is, you know, like in the beginning it was like 4 guys went to a stranded island and dumped Nolan at the island and just left him there. Like even from the beginning, it was just like this thing and no one had facts and they were just pushing this horrible narrative, all lies about everyone. And it's sick. So I wish that would have been completely different. I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night and told her that we haven't heard from her son. And I'm glad that I did all of that, but I hate the way this has been perceived by the media and portrayed. This has like been absolutely horrible with the way and the things that they've said to us and done. But other than that, I mean, there's not much I would change from my point of view and my friend's point of view. I think we did everything right. I know we did nothing wrong.
I also want to say, I think it's so criminal that they took something so anti-racist and flipped it into something super racist. Like they took, this is the definition of anti-racism. I mean, that we did not look at Nolan any different than I looked at him, or even you. You know, this is literally our brother. I mean, like we stated, we did not treat him any different. We didn't treat Trayson any different. We don't treat Trayson any different. And they just flipped it. And I just think that is so wild that they're pushing this thing that they're saying, oh, they want to end racism and all this stuff. Well, they're the one pushing it. They're pushing the racism.
What's going on, Edward Jackson? No one said that, brother.
Morgan, what's your thoughts on this? How does it affect you?
I mean, first I want to say, wish this would have never happened. I wish Nolan would still be here with us today. And, but in my opinion, I think that the media, they shouldn't have pushed a narrative from so early. I think that they should have let the local officials do their job, let them release statements. And then, I mean, the media is obviously going to see that and then do whatever they do. But that's what, I mean, I trust the local officials.
Ed, with what has transpired, you know, how does that dictate your response? Because you have a 30,000 foot view of all of this stuff, right? You see the way that it may.
So when I say 18 is not a legal age, because again, yes, you do get the right to vote at the age of 18. But like I said, certain states are not all states, and I get it like 3%. So what I'm saying is that, like, in order to buy tobacco, marijuana products, and alcohol and things like that, to really enjoy yourself as a so-called adult and to really integrate yourself inside of society, most people still think of 18 as a teenager and not an adult until you're 21. So I'm going by societal needs. But yeah, most law says 18. You know what I'm saying? 18 because you get the right to vote and walk the bell. But no person would in their right mind would consider an 18-year-old individual that just graduated high school from underneath their parents an adult. Let's be real about that. No one would consider an 18-year-old that just graduated high school from underneath their parents as an adult.
Could have went, and you see that there's people that instigated the narrative that's out there now. And as a defamation attorney, how does this navigate your tactics?
Sure. And I want to be clear about something tonight. I'm not going to give any particular person any more oxygen than they may have already sucked up. But I will say this. What's been said about Morgan, Jax, and Warren, I'm not going to call them untruths or half-truths or falsehoods. I'm going to call it what it is, lies. So the first thing that's really important here is we're dealing with lies and liars. We're dealing with profiteers. We're dealing with hustlers. And one thing that I've seen since I got here is that Ocean Springs, Mississippi, is a really beautiful place. And the region is very beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places in the country. And there is just no question. The death of Nolan Wells is a horrendous tragedy. But for the tragedy to then be magnified after his death,
you can be tried in as an adult at the age of 12 or 13, depending upon the severity of the crime, Jesse Landry. So please.
No reason other than profit is a disgrace, or what we would call a shanda. And I had the opportunity to go to Horn Island today with Tyler, and Warren and Jax. And a lot of people who have been sucking up way more oxygen than they're entitled to have not been to the island. I'm willing to bet that a lot of the hustlers and profiteers and liars have not been to that island. And you have to go to that island. And being at the island today was revelatory. It was really illuminating. It's a very dynamic marine environment, first of all. But when you go to the island, you see instantly that what some people want to be true, what they wish to be true, they're trying to wish it to be true. They're trying to make it true through their lies. It's actually not possible. It is a very, very long and narrow barrier island. It's basically very low sand dunes. And in the particular part of the island that we're dealing with, there are no trees. It's hardly any foliage, hardly any tree cover, hardly any plants, and it's wide open. And on July 4th, there were thousands of people there. There is no possible way that anybody could have committed a murder in broad daylight on a barren, windswept island that is narrow and was just swamped with people that day in broad daylight. It's just not possible given the natural environment there. And that leads me to the next point, which is this. Once you know what the timeline is, when you combine the timeline with the actual dynamics of the island itself, all of the lies completely unravel because it isn't possible. And here's why. Morgan, Warren, and Jax left the island at about 4:30 p.m. That's it. They were gone. That is not open for debate. So that's a fact. They were gone. And at that time, Nolan Wells was still alive. Now, I'm not going to name them out of respect for their privacy, but just as one example, there are two very fine, upstanding members of the Ocean Springs community who saw Nolan Wells at about 10 minutes to 6 p.m. So about an hour and a half after these fine young men had left the island. They were gone, departed. Nolan Wells was alive. And these two witnesses, two very reliable, very credible, and very upstanding members of the community, they saw Nolan. And they've known Nolan for years. There's no chance that they made a mistake. And by the way, this can be corroborated through other evidence, other eyewitness accounts. And that's the end of it right there. That's before we get into everything else about the situation.
And when I look at this, I feel like there's levels of defamation and areas of defamation. And I'm not going to speak on your behalf because this is y'all's story to tell, your story to litigate. But which areas are the most egregious that you are going to go after, or that you guys think also are areas where people have taken this situation and clearly lied to the public? One being the phone call. What is your thoughts on that phone call to Cito? Some people have gone out and done enhancements to the audio, and in doing that, created a transcript manually. It doesn't appear that the transcript was derived from an automated system or have any, in my opinion, real integrity with it. What are your thoughts, first, you guys, on the audio, and then I'll get to you, Ed, on could that be a defamatory area, the way it was produced? So what do you guys think about that audio? What's going on, y'all? I hope that you enjoyed the interview.
Part two, man, we're going to check out that part two, man. So listen, that was the part one of that interview. So, you know what I'm saying, when they release that, man, we're going to get to it. Did anyone else see the viral video of the black woman being attacked on social media, saying she feels safer raising her kids in a white neighborhood? No, I didn't see that. And again, you hear me with the letter. And listen, if that's her choice, that's her decision, and that's the way she feels, let her take them to that neighborhood and let's see what happens. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not bad at it. He said, yeah, being attacked by black people. Listen, man, people attack people, man. I done been in all sorts of neighborhoods, man. And guess what, man? Y'all, you know what? That's neither here nor there, man. You feel me? That's neither here nor there. All communities have their drawbacks. You feel me? Y'all can sit up here and say, and again, we're the minority. So, that's the crime that's being reported is on the minority. Let's report some of the crimes and some of the shit that you guys do. It's more white folks in jail than it is black folks. Let's keep it 100. You feel me? The majority is always going to outweigh the minority, right? So, but again, people don't think like that, man. They have their own, understanding, and I ain't mad at it. You feel me? He said, I don't always talk 30-year-old leftists, but when I do, I tell them I won't lie. Oh, man. Hey, man. Hey, listen. And again, man, all these things, man, is just subject to opinion, man. You feel me? The content, is what it is, man. Those young men feel the way they feel. Coach Cox said what he said, Tatum. And then you got you got public opinion. You got the people that's out here that feel a different way. It's always going to be some type of clash, man. It's always going to be some type of misunderstanding. You feel me? I don't think, let's so let's start with Jesse. You like to say ghetto and this culture and this, that, and the third, even if we were a highfalutin society, like most of you European Americans, I still think it would be some disdain and some distaste in your mouths. You feel me? Because at one point in time, we had our high society, right? And what did you guys do? You guys came, tore it down, tortured us, and didn't want us to have anything. And saying, so now I want you to ask yourself this question: why? Why? Why are you scared? You know what I'm saying? That's my question. You keep throwing a racist word around, but I'm ask yourself, why are you scared? Nolan didn't even like black people, and I wonder. Hey, man, this man is crazy. Facts are facts. Your feelings is nothing. So how do you know he don't like these people? And what facts have you presented? You haven't presented any facts. But again, this is an open panel, man. You're welcome to come up here and talk to me, man. And put some of your stats in the chat. We can pull them up and look together. You feel me? He say, yap, 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 yap. I like that. Man, listen, man. Jesse, you can come back anytime and interrupt me, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. But listen, man. I enjoyed everybody, man, for joining us on the stream tonight, man. Listen, if anybody want to come hit the panel real quick, you feel me, and speak some words, you know what I'm saying, on any of the content that I played tonight. If you want to voice your opinion, please hit that link in the chat. Feel free. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be a chatty patty. You know what I'm saying? We all inclusive around here. You feel me? Hit that link, pop up, you know what I'm saying? And speak your mind. Just be respectable, show proper decorum. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you're going to say. And then, you know what I'm saying, get on up out of here. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? That's how we going to do it. So I reserve the right for people to come in, man. You feel me? We give y'all a few seconds to get yourself together, man. You might be a little camera shy or whatever. You feel me? But if you want to come up, man, and you want to say something, please feel free to come speak. Please feel free to come up here and speak. You know what I'm saying? I encourage y'all. You say I love black people, I hate racists. I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess white people get accused of both white flight and gentrification. I guess. Going to follow just because you're respectful with the chat and it feels real. I'm very real, brother. You know what I'm saying? I try not to negate anyone's understanding, right? Or anyone's perception of life and reality. You know what I'm saying? And I try to be empathetic towards all. And again, regardless of whether you're wrong or right, you have you have the moral inclination to speak your mind and to feel the way you want to feel. And I'm not, who am I to say that you're wrong? Right. But now when we come together as people, you feel me, as two men or as two women or as a woman and a man, or however we do these conversations or discussions, right? When we come together, I try to find the commonality, you know what I'm saying, in all of these things, when we have these discussions, because there's no need to keep saying you're racist, this is racist, this person do this, because everyone don't do everything. You feel me? So within each and every nationality, ethnicity, or cultural group, there are going to be bad apples. This is facts. We can't, now that's a fact. We can't sit here and say, like it's bad people everywhere. So to you feel me, separate and categorize, you know what I'm saying, certain individuals that do certain things as all like it's a whole, it's not true. Just like even with this case, I say, look, let's not persecute these young men. We don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I didn't put Bart into anything. I didn't say these young men did anything. You feel me? I want the investigation process to continue. You feel me? I want to see what comes out. I want to see how this goes. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? But I mean, to each his own, man. We all feel some type of way. We all got our, you know what I'm saying, our own ideologies. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And how we look and how we view things. I appreciate that, Jesse. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. He said, yeah. He said, you are really whispering. I'm whispering? I don't think I'm whispering. Man. Can you hear? You say you what?
I can hear you.
Okay. Maybe. So he says no amount of apology can ever undo what black liberals have done to shopping buffet and cruise ships, and now we can add amusement parks to the list. This is crazy. These comments, bro. These white kids love Nolan. It's easy to tell. And Jesse, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I disagree with that. I just my personal opinion. That's a feeling. Now that's not a fact. That's a feeling. But I disagree with that. There are a lot of racist black people making content similar to this about Nolan, and a lot of it's disgusting. But see, and that's what I'm saying. See, I'm not doing any of that. You feel me? I like to bring all perspectives and be open and accept all variables when we're talking about these type of cases. You know what I'm saying? Because of course they can be, you know what I'm saying, race sensitive. Like, come on, man, we know that, and that's the purpose. Like, you think these things don't happen with the intent or knowing that that's the type of, you know what I'm saying, understanding that people are going to go to. That's the first thing they're going to go to. You can't tell me what a hood rat is, and it's meant to be in this. Okay, Debbie. Sorry, it's been really bothering me how many people are talking shit about white people over this. I mean, look, man. Look, man. I mean, as a white person, well, I don't know if you're European American, but as a European American, man, you know, you should feel like that, I guess, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's your right to feel that way, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't be mad at you for feeling that way. You know what I'm saying?
What these scramblers at? Probably want to write engineer so I can call them my shit.
It says you're making fun of Tatum when he's actually really going out there and doing something about that. I'm not making fun of Tatum. You know, I'm not making fun of Tatum. I said nothing wrong or bad about Tatum. I just don't think that he's genuine, you know, and I have the right to feel that way. You feel me? There's too many inconsistencies. I'm looking at the interview. I'm looking at what's being said. Like, I'm looking at all the right questions being asked and not the real hard questions, in my opinion. You feel me? What, you know, versus what I would ask. You know, and again, I was one of the first ones when this thing came out and said I don't think this is about race, but a lot of people are turning it that way. You know, but again, man, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? To each his own, man. You feel me? And so, but again, you say you seen channels that's being racist, so you don't think some of the things that you done came up here tonight and said and spoke out on, you don't think some of your comments would be considered as racist, Jesse? Because I can assure you they are. You feel what I'm saying? You know, even before you sat here and understood, you know what I'm saying, where I was coming from or how I was delivering my message, you feel me? You called me a racist. Well, I think you did. Yeah, I think that was one of your comments. So I mean, it's all about understanding, man. You know, all about understanding. And what's crazy is you people don't know if I'm half white, half black, half Asian, half black, half Latino, half black, or just none of the above, not even black. But you guys make this assumption. You feel me? You know, but it's okay, you know, and I understand. But again, man, you supposed to be for your people. When you feel as though it's a disservice or an injustice is done to your people, man, you supposed to speak out against it, man. I do understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I never said those boys are killers. I never said they was killers. He said, so do you think all those boys are killers and can keep their story together on live interviews and talking to the cops and everything? So, and again, so those young men weren't even the ones that was that was there per se, Warren. But I never said those boys killed Warren. Never. You never heard that come out of my mouth. And I done did a couple of videos on this, man. You can go watch any and every video where I ran the Nolan Wells content. You never one time heard me say that those boys did anything. Never. And I have watched other content creators, white, black, Asian, women, men, and a lot of them do say, they think those boys are guilty and da 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 da. What I will say is that I see a lot of, excuse me, inconsistencies in this case to determine whether it was foul play, determine whether it was accidental drowning, or to determine whether it was some type of physical altercation that was had amongst whoever. Now, but my thing is that with so many people on the island, it just baffles me that how no one was able to see anything. Yeah, I appreciate that, Miss Debbie. Appreciate that. That's all I'm saying. He said, I don't care about what you are. I match energy. Doesn't matter what color you are, because I'm not racist. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. But some people would, hey, you never know. You never know. He said, yeah, your viewers are getting a different vibe from you. What you mean a different vibe? What do you mean by that, Jesse? I try to, be transparent. I try to be open. I try to be, you feel me, empathetic. What I'm saying? It's subjective and objective to, what I'm saying, a lot of things. And again, the pessimistic, optimistic, and the devil's advocate, I like to play all sides because I believe in all different variables. And I do believe in, what I'm saying, things and principles and morals and shit like that. Now when it comes to the law, you feed me sometimes. But I think that's with any and everybody, man. What I'm saying, with certain laws and policies and things like that we have in play in this country. I think, what I'm saying, a lot of people would, not always agree on everything. But yeah, man, racism is a thing, I can say that. And let's just say this as a fact. I don't think racism was started in America by people of color or melanated individuals. To say that we are more racist than what European Americans are, you feel me? I would say that. I could think now. Now, would you agree with me on that being a fact or something that could be maybe debatable? You know what I'm saying, Jesse? You feel me? See, I like having these conversations. Also, man, again, this is an open platform. So at any time that I go live, man, I try to go live every Sunday. I'm sorry, excuse me. Every Sunday through Saturday, man, every day of the strong, we got something going on, 9 p.m. Central, until 11 p.m. Sometimes we go over, you feel me? So we have all different types of discussion. Even on Sundays, man, we dabble into theology as well, you feel me? So, man, I love to get new viewers. I love when you guys subscribe and come to the channel. Interaction within the chat is always welcome. You feel me? As long as it's respectable. Again, man, we try to be respectable because we do have different people of all walks in life that come to the channel. My channel is not primarily a melanated channel. You know what I'm saying? I have Asians. I have overseas people from Canada. You know what I'm saying? I have European American people. You feel me? I have people from all different walks of land. I have the people from New Zealand, people from Australia that hits my panel, come up here, talk and conversate with me. So you get different variations around the world, when we have these type of conversations, and that's what I like to do. So, what I'm saying, again, please be respectable, please be humble, what I'm saying, and please come in, what I'm saying, wanting to be embraced because we embrace, and please be embracing, what I'm saying, and be understanding of others, what I'm saying, thoughts and views. That's all we ask over here when you come to the channel. So everyone that's subscribed, I appreciate y'all for subscribing. Please join one of our memberships. What I'm saying, we got the bronze beard, silver beard, and black beard. So we have a 3-tier membership. Make sure y'all tap in, grab one of those memberships, subscribe, share us out. And also, man, if you guys have issues or maybe things that you want to discuss or you think needs to be discussed or put out to the forefront, what I'm saying, I'm always open to opinions and ideas. As far as topics and stuff to discuss on the channel. So, again, we're open, man. We try to treat this thing like a family because it's all about the support. I start my show by saying, what I'm saying, keep everyone in your thoughts, prayers, views, and meditations. And don't forget to practice these 5 key components of life. Well, master, not practice these 5 key components of life, which is love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. I think those things are important. There's no matter what race, no matter what ethnicity you are, no matter what culture you come from, what I'm saying, no matter your mindset, those are things that are important to everyone. You know what I'm saying? And should be important to you as well. And it's all about support, man. You never know who you're going to need. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you might have the inkling to help. You know what I'm saying? You might sometimes you walk, oh man, I ain't doing shit, but it was something comes over you. You might just help this person or whoever. Like, man, we need to get back more into that, man. But these social constructs of race and color that's been put upon us, man. You know, they put upon us for a reason, man. You feel me? Because you know a difference in the people, so you don't have to actually put a name on it, man. That's all for division purposes, man. I believe. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. But I could be wrong, you know. I could most definitely be wrong. Debbie said she was member of race riots as a child. See, I never been in a race riot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that old. I never been or never experienced a race riot. So, Debbie. So, can I ask you this question, Miss Debbie? May I interview you if you have some time about the race riots in Philadelphia? I don't know that much about it. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get your perspective and your experience on it. You know what I'm saying? If it's possible, you feel me? If that would be something that you would be okay with doing, you know what I'm saying? I would love to interview you or to hear that story and let you get that story out and let us know what happened during that time, you know what I'm saying, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, during those race riots as a child, if you can remember, you know, because again, you said you were a child, so I know sometimes it might be a traumatic experience and some things are suppressed. But if you can remember, and if you want to talk about it, man, listen. I appreciate if you would bring that conversation or that story to my platform. You can email me if you like. To if that's something that you would be into or interested in. I would appreciate it. If not, that's okay as well, because I do understand, you know, not everybody is, you know what I'm saying, want to be, you know, up here talking about certain things. So I do understand that. I do. I most definitely understand that. But again, though, if it's something that we can, you know, work out or come together on, I would love to do it. I would love to do it, Miss Debbie. Let me put my email in the chat for you. Email in the chat if that's something you'd be interested in. Please hit me up. Man, DJ, what's going on, DJ? Yeah, I had to come through and show you some love, my boy. I say glad you pulled up and showed up. You were live. I'm streaming. You did. Yeah, most definitely, man. Appreciate you. I might, if you're still live when I end, man, I might come over there and join you and see what you're doing, man. Make sure y'all tap into my brother, man, DJ Overtime too. He over there, man. He a DJ out there in you know, in New England, man. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Which is one of my European American friends. You know what I'm saying? So I most definitely am not a racist. You feel me? Um, Contrary to belief, you know what I'm saying? But I am about people first, you know, my people's first, you know, as well as anyone should be. You know what I'm saying? That's all, man. And we just trying to find solutions to a bigger problem, to a greater problem. And probably listen, I want to say fix, but we gonna say do some patchwork, and I know that's a problem because every time you patch some shit up, it just it gets worse instead of just trying to fix the actual problem. But do we even know what the fucking problem is to be trying to fix it? You know, or is this just some shit that's in our mind? Are we all disillusioned about what's going on and what's happening in this country when it comes to certain things? Who knows? Who knows? But again, I do encourage anyone that wants to speak. Again, before I get up out of here, man, if anybody want to come up and tap in and tune in and speak before we get up out of here, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you a little bit more time. If not, Two Wheels, man, it's been a pleasure. Once again, little bro, with you being up on the panel, man. Big shout out to Two Wheels, my panel security, man. This link is in the chat. I need y'all to scroll up, man. Go support my young brother here, Two Wheels, man. He don't really say much, but if you go live, man, and y'all go over there, man, tap in, support, speak, say hello, say what's up, hit that like button, man, and you know what I'm saying, give them some confidence. Also, man, make sure y'all go tap into TMB 4.4 the podcast. My brother, make sure y'all go tap in with him. Also, man, we do a wrestling program too, y'all. So Two Heels STS with your 2, now 3, and sometimes 4 favorite heels, where we talk all things WWE. We talk all PLEs. We talk about Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all tap into that. We just added a new segment to the program. You know what I'm saying? The nostalgia era segment where we talk about, you know what I'm saying, wrestling from back in the you know, wonder years. You know what I'm saying, as far as you can go back if you're a wrestling fan. So make sure you tap into Two Heels STS. That's the number 2 HEELS STS. You know what I'm saying? 2 Heels shooting the shit, man. Make sure y'all tap in. Listen, y'all know what I like to say, man. Go support those who support me because I support them until further notice. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, most definitely, man. That's what it's about right now. Support. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue to do that. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to be great. Let's continue to elevate. And let's continue to develop a worthy society of people. You feel me? That's why I asked the question and played the content that I played tonight, man. What are we doing, world? We're doing a lot of things that's not right. So yes, give me your email. It's late now here in Arizona. Bedtime for me, sir. Good talking to you. Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes. So that's my email right there. beardgenghis.com. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's beardgenghis.com. Miss Debbie, email me, Miss Debbie. And again, I would love, you know what I'm saying, to have you come up and talk about your experience about those race riots as a child. And again, I'm not going to push, before we can email and talk about, or you can let me know certain things that, would be touchy and not, you know what I'm saying? Cause that's not what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? Again, we embracing and I try to bring that family oriented type of environment with all my guests and panelists or all my chat people, period, regardless of how you feel or how you think or what you say in the chat. You feel me? I don't fly off the handle. I try not to fly off the handle. It depends on what's being said. Sometimes, man, I get the people to come in and type the NIGG, just craziness. You feel me? And perpetuate a lot of that madness. You know what I'm saying? Even if I wasn't doing this type of content, man, you'll be surprised of the people that come in the chat and just say outlandish things. I could be talking about sports. You'll get people come in and type NIGGE. Just craziness, man. Just craziness. You feel me? And that's something that we gotta shy away from, y'all. Like real shit, man. We gotta shy away from things like that, man. That's not conducive to society. That's not gonna get us anywhere. You know what I'm saying? That type of thinking, that type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? That type of hostility and maliciousness. You feel me? So again, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in. So 2 Wheels, man, go ahead and close us out with a few words of encouragement, brother.
Accountability is don't be afraid to be held accountable.
Yes, sir. That's most definitely a fact. If nothing else that was said tonight was a fact, that is most definitely a fact. You know what I'm saying? Accountability. Don't be afraid to take accountability, bro. You know what I'm saying? That is the main problem and main focus. A lot of us are scared to look in the mirror and say, look, you are the problem. You know what I'm saying? And it might be minuscule. It might not be as big as, you want to make it or others may make it, but small be that as it may, you know what I'm saying? You have to look in the mirror and realize, you are the problem. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck what color you are, white, yellow, blue, green, brown, black. You feel me? That's the truth. That's the truth. And man, y'all know what I like to always say before we get up out of here, man. I'm gonna leave you like I came to you. Audience chat, man. Let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. Once again, let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. And lastly, family, let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. And don't forget to master these 5 key components of life. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. And one last time for those that was logging off instead of staying all the way to the end, that's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. And don't forget that main component, that glue that holds all of this together. That's that support. So don't forget to E40 that thing, man, and sprinkle a little support on top, because a little support go a long way, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. All superheroes don't wear capes, but they still need their theme music. So to all my beautiful people, all my superheroes, and all my Beardonians out there, man, hey, same brown time, same brown channel. Y'all come brown now, you hear? Hey, and don't forget, man, you talk brown to me, we'll talk brown back to you. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, man, good night, grand rising, grand evening, grand afternoon, top of the morning, top of the day to you. You feel me? Wherever you're from in your respective places, good night, man. You feel me? And hey, man, listen, once again, man, big ups to all my kings and goddesses as moderators in the channel. Without y'all, this wouldn't be possible. Big shout out to all my Twitch, Facebook, Kick supporters, man. Don't forget to give me a like, follow, and share those platforms. And most definitely big up to all my YouTube people, man. Followers, fans, viewers, subscribers, supporters, man. I appreciate y'all. And without y'all, this wouldn't be possible, man. So y'all just keep coming, keep supporting. And man, let's grow and let's continue to be great. With that being said, we out, y'all. Peace, abundance, and love, chat.
Guys, guys, yeah. Guys, 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 yeah. Guys, my name is Cito. Guys, guys, you already know that, dog. Guys, guys, this the hottest show you gon' find around. If young niggas ain't known, you need to ask around. This is bearded conversation. It's all love and no hate. Around here we good, but we aim to be great. Dip back in the debate, enjoy your Scooby snacks. Around here we just talk about this and all that. We talking real life, every day and every night. And if you need to clear the air, you can bring your wife. We got church on Sunday, that's on the west side. We got virtual reality, in case you're scared of outside. See, we got what you need, and that's a guarantee. The best thing about it, it's absolutely free. Bearded conversation, all love ain't no haters. Enjoy Scooby snacks while we get back to the basics. Don't matter if you black or white, who you think is wrong or who is right. These are just opinions.
Hold on. Y'all hear my song? You hear the outro? It don't matter if you black or white. It just matter if you're wrong or right. You feel me? Oh, whoa, my bad.
Guys, guys, yeah. Guys, yeah. Guys, my name is Cito. Guys, you already know that, dog. Guys. This the hottest show you gon' find around. If young niggas ain't known, you need to ask around. This is bearded conversation. It's all love and no hate. Around here we good, but we aim to be great. Dip back in the debate, enjoy your Scooby snacks. Around here we just talk about this and all that. We talking real life, every day and every night. And if you need to clear the air, you can bring your wife. We got church on Sunday, that's on the west side. We got virtual reality, in case you're scared of outside. See, we got what you need, and that's a guarantee. The best thing about it, it's absolutely free. Bearded conversations, all love ain't no haters. Enjoy Scooby snacks while we get back to the basics. Don't matter if you black or white, who you think is wrong or who is right. These are just opinions, some inside from a different walk of life. Yeah, see, my name is Cito. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, buy this man a coffee. Don't forget to lead over follow. Don't forget to love those that love you. And don't ever forget that you ain't never been richer than you are right now.
Thumb up the video, man. Like the video, man. Thumb up the video, man.
Like he said, you feel me? Hey, man, I see that super chat ain't been hit up yet, man. Listen, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, support, man. Subscribe to the channel. Share me out. Come comment. Come engage with us, man. Those are some of the best things that you can do to support the channel. Hey, if you want to hit that super chat, hit that super chat. If you want to hit the cash app that's available, hit the cash app. However you support, you feel me? I'm with it, man. You feel me? It ain't all about the money and the bucks and all that shit. I just want that to be said. But that's like the rhetoric, man. That's embedded in the speech and the talk or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, hit that super, and also, man, hitting the super chat lets you, puts you in the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that. Also hitting that like button and engaging as well. But listen, man, before we get all the way up out of here, man, y'all know what I like to say. When we come together, may we always meet on a level. Once we in each other's presence, may we always be humble and plumb. And when we leave each other's presence, may we always part on the square. Some more to be, some more to be, some more to be. So may it be, family. Peace, y'all, until tomorrow, Toxic Tuesday, man. Make sure y'all tap in and check us out. Peace.